Chapter 119. Luo Qingshun stood on the sacrificial altar and watched as Xiying fell into hell. She watched as countless little ghost dolls filled with hatred threw themselves at her. She gave a soft snort, and with a flick of her sleeve, the entrance to hell was slowly closed. After a while, she turned to look at the Wu people under the sacrificial altar. She slightly raised a brow and said, "If you want revenge, come find me in the heaven race." After saying this, she closed her eyes, and a pink glow disappeared without a trace. Then a clear voice came from the sky, and a marrow-cleansing pill fell in front of the crown prince, for Su Yi. Everyone was stunned. Before they could react, there was already no one on the sacrificial altar. After that, Ling Xiu charged in the direction she had teleported in, chasing after her with a faint blue glow. She landed lightly outside the Celestial Hall's god-slaying sword array. The noble sound swords circled around her. Even in the face of this dangerous sword array, it still shone with a powerful spiritual energy, without the slightest trace of fear. When she was about to step into the god-punishing sword array, a sacrificial spiritual sword with a faint blue glow appeared in front of her. Ling Xiu's cool as water voice came from behind her. "How could you not bring your unhumph?" She slightly raised a brow. "Husband." He revealed a faint smile. Luo Qingshun instantly turned around and looked at that peerless face. Her eyelashes trembled as she said, "Husband, when did this happen? Could it be that she forgot something she shouldn't have forgotten? System, come out. Stop pretending to be dead. The heaven race and the beast race have secretly arranged a marriage, and the heavenly monarch has betrothed her to Ling Xiu. God, when did this happen? Why didn't I know about it at all?" Does the host still remember the deal Ling Shuang mentioned? The deal at that time was for Ling Xiu to represent the beast race in marriage with the heaven race's princess. My God, then why didn't you tell me earlier? Tell me, did you do this on purpose? You didn't ask me. The system silently threw the blame away. Looking at your appearance of sudden realization, did you remember something? Ling Xiu saw that she was a bit distracted, and a gentle and loving smile appeared on his face. She was still the Luo Qingshun he loved the most, no matter when or where. It doesn't count if we haven't gone through the ceremony yet. She pursed her lips and narrowed her beautiful eyes. Her entire body emitted a faint light, and her beautiful eyebrows swept lightly. She did not wear any makeup on her face, but still could not hide her stunning appearance. It was as if one could fall into eternal oblivion if they took one more look. Qing's status is different. She's starting to dislike me. Ling Xiu walked beside her and softly took her hand. In the next second, he leaped into the god-slaying sword formation. Before Luo Qingshun could react, they were surrounded by layers of sword formations. Ling Xiu lowered his brows and tightly held her with his hands around her waist. Their bodies were suffused with a bluish-pink glow, as if all the sword chi was intimidated by their powerful spiritual energy and retreated. Her cheeks were instantly dyed red, and her clear eyes sparkled. Her pink lips were slightly pursed as she said in a sweet voice, "I didn't." She had said this on purpose, but she never thought that the abstinent beast god would be this direct. Chapter 120. Luo Qingshun was stunned, and her ears kept buzzing. She closed her eyes and accepted this deep kiss in a panic. She moved back, and he moved in. Inch by inch, layer by layer, he entered the depths of her heart without any defenses. It was like the man in front of her was her everything. God, what happened to the abstinent male god? But this kiss that was a mix of cool and hot seemed to have a trace of abstinence to it. Ding affection has increased by 10. Mission completion rate is now 100%. Powerful. My system. You always complete the mission when I'm being kissed. Can I interpret it as kissing can increase favorability faster? Host, can you choose to stay? Yes/no. Yes, there was no doubt. After a while, he reluctantly put down the panting her. The two ancient divine weapons tightly surrounded them, fighting against the fierce swords of the god-punishing sword array. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for not leaving me alone. Thank you for liking me. Ling Xiu looked into her eyes with deep emotions. After that, with a dong sound, He tightly hugged her in his embrace, as if he wasn't willing to let her go for even a second. His voice slightly trembled. "It's a good thing you're back. Finally, he wouldn't have to drink every night without getting drunk. Finally, he wouldn't have to feel sad and despair. Finally, he wouldn't have to call her name without getting a response. Finally, he could truly hug her and kiss her. If this was a dream, he was willing to never wake up in this life." "Is this a confession?" Luo Qingchun was stunned by his sudden actions. She blinked in a daze as her beautiful eyes sparkled with a sparkle. If this was a confession, she would accept it. He gave a certain nod and softly let her go. His deep eyes sparkled as he looked at her and said, "Qing, if I have a next life, remember this. Wait for me to come find you." He suddenly felt that they were about to spend a lifetime together, but he already felt that there wasn't enough time. "All right." Her eyes turned red, and she gave a gentle nod. He declared his sovereignty so domineeringly, as if he was using all his strength to strengthen his heart and hers. For a long time, the air seemed to have frozen. They looked at each other quietly, as if they had merged into each other's bodies. This continued until the two pinkish-blue ancient godly swords could no longer withstand the god-slaying sword formation and were forced to retreat further and further. #SwordShow. Can you look at us? Okay. Stop showing off your PDA and look at us first. Ling Xiu flicked his sleeve, and his right hand grabbed her waist. A faint blue light appeared in the god-punishing sword array, as if it was entering the swordless realm. The first thing Luo Qingchun did after arriving at the Star Palace was to look for Mo Bai in the deathless lotus pond and give him 2 marrow cleansing pills. Then he looked at Ling Xiu and saw Ling Xiu's finger move. The eternal lotus pond was instantly filled with white light, and Mo Bai jumped out of the lotus seed in just a few seconds. What they didn't expect was that Mo Bai would grow bigger and bigger. In the end, he became as tall as 2 people with lotus roots. "What is this situation?" Luo Qingchun patted Mo Bai's thick lotus root leg and looked at Ling Xiu with a confused look as she asked this. "Sir Ling Xiu," Mo Bai's voice echoed in the air. "What did you feed me? Why did I become so big?" "It's probably because you ate too many marrow cleansing pills." Ling Xiu helplessly shrugged his shoulders as he spoke. Chapter 121. Her lips curled, and she said with a smile that was like a spring breeze, "So cute. But I feel that Qing is more cute." Ling Xiu held her hand and stepped onto his sword, flying into the clouds. Behind them, Lotus Root Mo Bai ran strenuously behind them, all the way until they landed in a paradise. This was a flourishing star velvet flower language, and a spacious crystal palace stood in the center. Countless flowers surrounded it, making it incomparably beautiful. "So beautiful!" Luo Qingchun's eyes lit up as she looked at him and said, "How did you find this?" "This is a gift Mother gave us." He took her hand and said, "How about we live here from now on?" When Ling Xiu mentioned Mother, she suddenly thought of Shi Ruyu, the first person she saw when she came to this world. She looked at his enchanting face and stood on her tiptoes. She quickly placed a kiss on his lips and said, "All right." Who would have thought that as soon as her voice fell, he felt like he wasn't satisfied. His right hand softly pulled her waist, and his cool lips fell down. The night breeze blew, and the sounds of the west rang out. It was like a beautiful flower, flowing like water. They agreed to walk hand in hand, so they would keep walking. In this life, it was Luo Qingchun who left first. After living for 10,000 years, even if she was a member of the heaven race, she had to return to chaos. On this day, the sun was just right. Both he and she could calculate that today was the day she would return. "Qing," Ling Xiu softly said, calling the young girl beside him. She was still like ice and jade with starry eyes. She had a faint smile that was indescribably beautiful, as if the years had never left a mark on her face. It wasn't that Luo Qingchun was special. Rather, it was that members of the heaven race never aged. Luo Qingchun nodded. Her lips curled into a faint smile as she said, 10,000 years have passed so quickly, it's like it's gone in the blink of an eye. Without knowing why, she felt that she was very unwilling. This was a place for her to complete her mission, but it had become the place that bound her the most. She knew what her mission was, and she knew why the people she met were so similar. The system thought that she didn't understand, but she did. In every world, the male lead who wanted to fall in love with her would always have a black mark behind his ear. That mark resembled the symbol of the Grim Reaper, and the red spider lily that was faintly discernible on her forehead had some similarities. "What should I do?" His voice was choked with emotion. He hugged her tightly and said, "I can't bear to part with you. What should I do?" She could feel his cold tears falling onto the back of her hand, but she didn't look up at him because she was afraid. She was afraid that if she looked at him one more time, she would break down and cry because of this parting. She couldn't cry because she knew that if she cried in front of him, he would be even more reluctant and upset. "You have to live well. I'll wait for you to find me, okay?" She closed her eyes slightly, and a wave of sleepiness came over her. The warm wind blew in her ears, and everything around her became incomparably quiet. "Fool!" He tightly hugged her and softly muttered in her ears, "Did you forget about my soul samsara?" The ancient forbidden technique had a mysterious aura. There was a faint blue glow around their pulses that disappeared in an instant. In an instant, the spiritual energy in his body slowly dissipated, and he left this world with her in his arms. Chapter 122. Being able to enjoy life and dying without regrets. "Are you willing to help me in the next life?" Ling Xiu, when I was born, my father and mother were no longer by my side. My father was locked in the Heaven Race's prison, and my mother wandered around the immortal realm, constantly searching for a way to save my father. I lived with Ling Shuang and my big sister Ling Yao since I was young. Big sister was very gentle. Perhaps it was because my mother wasn't here, but she took care of me and Ling Shuang even more, being very good to me. Big sister told me that there were more males and less females in the Beastmen world. Therefore, if I saw a little female when I went out, I had to grab the chance and make her my other half. But when I grew up, I found that big sister's words were wrong. As long as I went out, there would be little females confessing to me. No matter where I went, I would be the center of attention. Just based on this, it angered Ling Shuang half to death. But he was still my big brother who loved me. Until the sacrificial spiritual sword seal was broken and Big Sister sacrificed herself to the sacrificial spiritual sword. Everything happened too quickly, so fast that I didn't have time to react before Big Sister no longer existed. I hated myself, and I knew that Ling Shuang also hated me. That day, the sky was filled with purple and red. After a deafening sound, the entire endless temple fell into a deathly silence. At that time, I met a person who looked exactly like Big Sister. She silently looked at me and asked me in a Big Sister's voice if I wanted to go with her. Actually, I knew in my heart that this person wasn't Big Sister, but in that moment, I blinded my eyes and heart. I thought that even if I stayed by the side of someone who looked like Big Sister, it was still quite good. It was only when Ling Shuang attacked Phoenix Feather City that I suddenly realized. In the end, I was wrong. Xing wasn't Ling Yao, and from Ling Shuang's eyes, I could see that he hated Xiying. For him to hate someone like this, it must be related to Big Sister. I guessed that the sacrificial spiritual sword seal being broken in the past was related to the Wu people and Xiying. My heart was filled with guilt. Actually, my spiritual energy could have blocked Ling Shuang's divine punishment bead, but in that moment, I was a bit tired of the world. I didn't know what was right and what was wrong. Perhaps if I die, I'll be able to see my sister and find out the truth. How many beauties have withered, how many lovesickness has shattered, leaving behind only blood staining the fragrant ink and weeping grave. The first time I saw her was in the profound ice grave of the ice mountain. Unfortunately, I didn't have a heart back then, and I didn't have any memories. I appeared in front of her like a fool. Her blade technique was extremely fast. She was covered in blood, but at that moment, her eyes were crystal clear. For some reason, she seemed to glow at that moment. There was only one thing on my mind. I had to protect her. I couldn't let her get hurt. I blocked all the attacks for her, and finally fell into her arms with wounds all over my body. I didn't know why, but I was very fond of this feeling. The faint aura on her body could actually make me forget the pain on my body. Actually, I knew that she had nether fire on her, something that could kill me. But I still kept my eyes closed, unwilling to leave her side. He suddenly felt that he was so stupid, just like the idiot that she had mentioned. However, she extinguished the nether fire in the end. Then she patted my head and softly said in my ear, "I am Luo Qingshun. I have no family, no lover, and no one who would risk their lives to protect me like you. If we can leave this place alive, how about you marry me?" My heart skipped a beat. My lips curled slightly, and I gave a soft nod. I didn't know if she could see it, but I really wanted to marry her. Chapter 123. When we met again, I already didn't remember her. The past was like a fleeting cloud. I stood outside the Star Hall and looked at the bright moon in the sky. I smiled helplessly. It turned out that life could be so boring. Mo brought me my favorite peach blossom soup. The taste wasn't bad, but the feeling after eating it was a bit hot. I knew that there was a problem with the peach blossom soup, but I didn't know why I couldn't taste it. After that, she appeared in front of me while shaking her head. Without any spiritual chi in his body, he walked in with his head sticking out without any concealment. I felt my heart suddenly skip a beat, and the heat in my heart instantly reached a boiling point. Who was this person? Wearing a white dress, she charged through the God-punishing sword array without a single injury, appearing in front of me with a harmless appearance. Damn it, my heart kept beating like it didn't care about my life anymore. All of my rationality dissipated in an instant. I finally understood the trembling and desire that my sister had mentioned when I was a child when she met the person she loved. The terrifying effects of the medicine made me kiss her and firmly hug her in my embrace. This was my first time hugging a girl, and this kind of tight hug made me unwilling to let go. She said that she came to the Star Palace to learn because of my strong spells, and that she used her willpower to enter the God-punishing sword array. God. Did she think I was stupid? This kind of lie that even a 3-year-old child couldn't believe. How could she say it with such a serious expression? However, the terrifying thing was that I wasn't angry at all. Rather, I felt that she was a bit cute. On the day the maids were assigned their rooms, I, who had never participated in this kind of ceremony, actually ran into the shadows to watch. When I saw Xiying use her spiritual energy to change the room she was supposed to go to, my heart was suddenly filled with fear. Without even thinking about it, the spiritual energy at the tip of my finger moved towards the plaque. My heart was a bit satisfied. I was about to see her again. Only, she really was a person who liked to cause trouble and was confused. But after the Star Palace had her, it seemed to have a chance of survival. Even Mo, who didn't like talking to the maids, liked her a lot. Sometimes, I would inadvertently see her talking to Mo with a face full of smiles, and I would feel a bit uncomfortable. Not to mention her so-called fated marriage, main ete. I couldn't control the anger in my body, as well as the faint heartache. I hated it when she talked to other men and smiled at other men. Moreover, Sui had hugged her. Well, why did he have to hug her? In a fit of anger, I directly changed the array formation of the God-punishing sword formation, purposely pushing her towards Sui. Actually, I just wanted her to flatter me and smile at me. Tell me that there's nothing between her and Mo. Perhaps she would even tell me that she only likes me. Or perhaps, as long as one night passes, I will miss her so much that I will personally bring her back. But what I did not expect was that she actually did not hesitate in the slightest and directly barged into the God-punishing sword formation. I used my fastest speed to teleport to her side. She was already covered in blood, and she fell into my arms with wounds all over her body. Looking at her pale face and the blood that had almost dried up, I felt my heart twist in pain. At this moment, I knew that I had fallen in love with the person in my arms. All my thoughts were tied to her. I didn't want to leave her. I didn't want to see her hurt. I think I will always be by her side for the rest of my life. Chapter 124. But I still broke my promise in the end, saying that I would protect her forever. They actually used the blood curse forbidden technique in the Star Palace while I was on the way to the Endless Temple. Xiying, she could actually do this kind of thing. She could actually be this vicious. God knows how much my heart ached when I saw her in her snow-white clothes floating in the water. That kind of anger coldness, regret, fear, and despair all combined together. I would never forget it in my entire life. I knew that I couldn't stay here any longer. I couldn't let her be in any danger. Even if I died, I definitely couldn't let her die. So I decided that when I went to the endless temple to take the tranquil breath grass, I would use an ancient forbidden technique, the soul samsara. I was thankful that I had the beast god's body, allowing me to use this forbidden technique. That way she would never leave before me. That way, no matter when or where in this life, she would never leave me alone. That way in my life, I would always be by her side, taking care of her, pampering her, and protecting her. But without knowing why, the heavens like to play tricks on me. 100 years ago, elder sister sacrificed her soul to seal the sacrificial spiritual sword. But 100 years later, she stole it before me and did this. I didn't blame her, but I wanted to know, why didn't I die? The ancient forbidden technique, the soul samsara calamity, the life and death calamity, the life and death calamity. Why did you lie to me? Why did you make me take all this alone? Why was it so cruel? This world no longer had any meaning to me. I hated this world. I hated it. I drank large amounts of wine each day, and in that moment, this thing could numb my nerves, making me feel less pain. In the end, it was only for a moment. Day and night, my mind was occupied by her figure, surrounded by her every frown and smile. I really didn't want to live anymore, but when I was planning on killing myself, Li Guang told me that the crown prince was asking me for help. I suddenly thought of Shi Ying's figure. Elder sister and her grudge hadn't been avenged yet. How could I die? No, I want to live. I want to kill all the Wu people to pay tribute to your souls. Then, I'll go back with you. But I never thought that after the heavens were cruel to me, they would finally take care of me. I stood under the sacrificial altar, looking at her in a pink dress with pink spiritual energy surrounding her. My heart skipped a beat. It was like finding a treasure that had been lost. I didn't even dare speak. I was afraid that if I did, I would wake up from this dream. But it was a good thing that Meng Yi was here, and she was also here, only her eyes looking at me with a bit of anger. I knew why she was angry. She must think that I wanted to save Shi Ying. But I didn't want to save her. I just didn't want her to go to hell with elder sister's face. Moreover, I didn't want to dirty her hands. I never thought that she was the celestial race's little princess. Falling into the mortal world was just a calamity of her fate. She was undergoing a tribulation, but I gave her all the love I had in my life. Thank you for being able to marry her, for marrying this Tian clan's little princess who appears in my dreams day and night. Tian Tian of Yin 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 Tian Yin 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 Yin. Chapter 125. There was an extra, faint blue glow in the dark chaos space that lingered in the air. The system said, "It is very afraid, all right?" Ling Xiao just casually stood there, releasing his powerful spiritual energy. The system couldn't help patting its little chest as it entered its most beloved 10 questions. System, the 5th grade super-loving immortal beast drama of the year has come to an end. The system is also very excited. Below, with an empty voice, we welcome the most handsome, elegant, cold, and infatuated abstinence beast god, world's male lead, Sir Ling Xiao. Hoo. A cold wind blew through the chaos space, ending the system's confession. Hello, Sir Ling Xiao. I'm good. First question. When you met her in the profound ice grave, did you ever think that she was a bad person? I was a fool back then. How could I know? Even fools have their own thoughts. Yeah, I felt that as long as I protected her, she would be mine. System voiceover. I hate direct dog food. Second question. Why did you change the palace she was going to at the heavenly worship ceremony? More dog food. My girl, I will protect her myself. Why would I give her to someone else? It really was too domineering. Third question. Who do you hate the most in this world? Is there need to ask this? No need. The system knows it's Shi Ying. No, it's Su Yi. So even though I knew that the marrow cleansing pill had double the effect on him, I still didn't tell the truth. He should be even taller than Mo by now. The system was very afraid. Was there anyone who could help the system ask? There was a deathly silence. Fourth question. What did it feel like the first time you kissed her? I desperately controlled the feeling of wanting her. I was thinking later that if I didn't control my spiritual energy and took off her ribbon, she wouldn't have suffered that much damage. The meaning of your words is that you want a yin hashtag percent yin, and I think you don't want to be a system. You want to become a pile of broken parts? Sorry, this system is still a baby. Sir Ling Xiao naturally chose to forgive it. So terrifying, quickly apologize. Fifth question. Many people feel that your feelings for Ling Yao are also very deep. Then what is the difference between you and her? Family and love. These are emotions of different dimensions and cannot be compared. Sixth question. When were you most helpless? When she sacrificed her life to the spirit sword. When the exquisite ring's power pushed me away, my world went blank. Seventh question. Do you prefer her as a mortal or as an empress? Mortal, because I can always protect her. She's the empress concubine and won't need my protection in the future. I feel terrible. Eighth question. What do you think is the most domineering thing you have done? Attach the soul, samsara calamity to her. I vaguely remember the way she looked at me. She was so touched. Actually, I enjoyed it a lot. After all, dying with her is the happiest thing in my life. School. Unity. Beg. Loathing. Eat. Dog. Food. Ninth question. The two of you have lived together for 10,000 years. Don't you feel tired of showing off your love every day without quarreling? The system felt an ice-cold aura, but still asked this question. I just want to know, why isn't it 1,000,000 years? Why isn't it eternal life? The system froze 3 seconds. 10th question. Cuckoo. Say something to her. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Life after life. The cycle will never end. Pooh. Thank you for feeding everyone who hasn't eaten lunch yet. I now solemnly announce that the interview with the abstinence beast god, world's male lead Sir Ling Xiao, is over. Chapter 126. Host, welcome back. Luo Qingchen expressed that she wasn't very happy. The memories of the past were still spreading in her mind. Her heart felt empty and a little sad. Host, are you not happy? Luo Qingchen's voice was a little hollow as she nodded her head. She really couldn't bear to part with them. She suddenly wanted to know who she was, what her identity was, and why she experienced such an unforgettable love. Those people, why did they all have the same mark? Why did they all make her unable to forget them? Host, you'll meet again. The system rarely saw its host so depressed. For the first time, Luo Qingshan felt that her system still had a bit of humanity. No, it was systematic. The following is a summary of this mission's data. Host, please read it carefully. When the system's voice sounded again, Luo Qingshan felt that she was thinking too much. Humph, this cold-blooded system doesn't give people time to calm down at all. Name, Luo Qingchen Plain Space. Abstinent Beast God's Absolute Pet Empress Experience Points Exchange. 2,900 mission completion rate. 100% reward. Instant teleportation canvas shoes. One-time use. She completed this mission pretty well. There weren't any messy side missions. She completed the mission perfectly. The next second, the bronze mirror flipped to the next page. Host can rest for 10 minutes before starting the 4th mission. The mission panel is below. Experience, appearance, physical strength, charm, figure. Apart from experience, all other values are only for this mission and have nothing to do with other missions. The system has become more humane recently. I can still rest for 10 minutes. Host, you don't want it. I don't want it. I want to verify what you said about me meeting again. It doesn't matter if that person changed his name or appearance. Host, you are very confident. After all, I can recognize him at a glance. Luo Qingshan pursed her lips and smiled. That black ancient seal had been firmly engraved in her heart. Suddenly, she felt a bit of longing. She couldn't wait to meet him again. The next second, the bronze mirror flipped to another page. Mission grade. B experience gained. 500. Exchange points gained. 2,000. Ability. Space and time freeze for 1 minute. One-time use. Female lead. Luo Qingchen, Donghua Chenjin. Supporting male lead. By Yin Yin. Demonic Year Young Master, supporting female lead. Ying Gu, She won Shungu / Only Love Young Master. Passerby. Muqian Lu, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Mission content. Return to a week before the female lead's death and obtain the love of a passerby. Muqian Lu. What? Passerby, eh? Are you kidding me? Luo Qingshun was confused when she saw the interface. Also, why isn't there a male lead in this dimension? Now, the system was so proud that even the male lead was omitted. Because everyone in this world thinks that the female lead is a man, so she plays a male character. No wonder the first female supporting character's name is a couple's name with a female lead. This really is a bit interesting. Luo Qingshun gave 2 soft laughs, showing that she was a bit excited. After all, she had once imagined that one could flirt with Lolis with money, and Wu could break Prince Charming in bed with martial arts. The host has accepted the original owner's memory. Memory is being imported. Please sit tight. Chapter 127. The previous host was a university school flower and a legendary forest goddess. Not only did she have a good family background, she also excelled in her studies. The previous host majored in original art design, and before graduation, she went to one of the largest game companies in S-City, the V Group, for an internship. As an intern artist for the V Group's fantasy 3D online game, Heavenly Sword, the previous host unknowingly fell in love with this game and walked the path of becoming a god with money. Because of the previous host's cheerful personality, she played as a male character in the game, wearing a set of top-grade dye clothes and a full level plus 16 equipment. She became the rich male god in the hearts of many girls. Once the rich male god label was placed on her, those little white flowers that wanted to hug her thigh swarmed her like flies. The supporting female, lead Ying-gu, was one of them. Her original game ID was unknown, but when she entered the previous host's eyes, she had already changed her ID to Western Reed Song. This was because the previous host's game ID was Donghua Chenjin. It had to be said, this female lead's random couple name was quite smooth. No one knew that the previous host was a girl, and she was a school flower goddess. The supporting female lead used the previous host's innocent young girl's heart to pretend to be weak. Ing. She even added a beautiful female player's photo event, successfully obtaining the title of #1 beauty of the server. On a certain day, the supporting female lead and the previous host met on the battlefield, and they were even on the same team. After the battle, the supporting female lead directly messaged the previous host. She wanted to get close and send a photo, wanting the previous host to form a contract with her. The previous host looked at the photo, and she really was a beauty. Thinking about it, since it was a game, it didn't matter if she teased a girl, so she agreed. On the day of the contract, the previous host released 520 heaven coins worth of top-grade fireworks, equivalent to 520 RMB, to form a contract with the supporting female lead. The supporting female lead immediately became the target of envy for the little white flowers that wanted to hug her thigh. However, on the 3rd day after forming the contract, the supporting female lead asked for the previous host king's ink and various top-grade materials account, saying that she wanted to show it off. The previous host hesitated a bit before finally lending it to the supporting female lead. After all, she could be considered her first friend in this game, although she hid her gender. However, the supporting female lead cleaned out the previous host's account in less than 10 minutes. The host was so angry that she wanted to die. She directly went to the cross-server speaker to argue with her. However, not only did the female supporting lead not admit it, she even called the second-ranked male supporting lead and the entire guild behind him to help her. She directly pushed the original host to the heart of the struggle. She called the original owner a scumbag, a 40-year-old toad who wanted to eat swan meat, and an ugly man who wanted to have a contract with a #1 beauty in the server. The original owner was filled with regret. As the 3rd strongest player in the entire server, she usually only knew how to go to the battlefield, dungeon, and nation wars. She was completely in a random team and didn't make any friends. So much so that if they really fought, she would be so isolated and helpless. In a fit of anger, the original host destroyed all the equipment in the game and scattered all the cloud coins, game coins on a legendary Sulon Bridge game scene. After returning to the login screen, he clicked to delete the character. Originally, this was just a game. However, there would always be a few people in this world who would invert right and wrong and judge others from the perspective of the noblest morality. For example, the supporting female leads keyboard warriors. Not only did they praise their goddess on the forums, they also posted pictures of 40-year-old toad men to ridicule the original host. The original host's blood pressure was high from anger, and she directly posted a picture of herself on the forums. But what was helpless was that the original host had already become the target of public criticism. The public opinion was completely one-sided, and no one believed the original host's picture. The original host couldn't clear her name and was instead scolded even more. The original host, who was feeling very irritated, was accidentally hit by a car on the way to the company the next day and died on the spot. Chapter 128. The story went back to a week ago. Before the supporting female lead hooked up with the female lead, she was still the rich god of the Like Summer Flowers server, Donghua Qinjin. Luo Qinshun sat in front of the computer. Looking at the previous host's equipment and stats, she couldn't help being shocked. She really was a rich person. Her fashion bag was completely filled. There was even an expansion pack. One page had 16 sets of clothes, a total of 5 pages. Each set was dyed, and they were all made of top-grade rare materials. As expected, a girl was a girl in the end. Even if she played a male character, it couldn't stop her young girl's heart from collecting clothes. System, did you forget something? Exchanging 4 Heavenly Sword. Li Guang's job skills requires 500 exchange points. The host can choose if you want to exchange. Yes/no. The system clearly saw through her thoughts and gave a cold reply. Damn, system, isn't this an additional skill? Just like the exquisite ring. Aren't you just tricking me? That's because the system pitted the host and couldn't exchange for the exquisite ring, so it was kind enough to lend it to you. How could there be this kind of system in this world? So, the host doesn't need to exchange for it? Touch your conscience and see if it's still there. Of course I do, alright? Could it be you want me, the 3rd-ranked player in the server, to go to the beginner village to hunt? Ding! 500 exchange points has been taken. Successfully exchanged for Li Guang's job skills, limited to this world. In that instant, Luo Qinshun felt her fingertips fill with power. Her right hand flexibly moved the mouse. She could even click on 3 directions in a second to use the skill. She already couldn't wait to play this game. This game was the highest-level 3D fantasy game in the country. Whether it was the details of the character's face or the beautiful scenery, it was all incomparably realistic. She sat up straight and took a serious look at her character's face. It was really handsome. It was simply the face of a male god. The male god in the previous host's heart should look like this. Any new player would feel dizzy when they played this game. It really was a large-scale game with a conscience. Luo Qinshun opened her fashion bag and changed into the fully dyed Frost Snow. This was the best of the rare dyes, and one bottle cost 1 million cloud coins, which was 50 RMB. A set of clothes in the main area needed 6 bottles and 4 bottles in the sub-area, which added up to 10 bottles. She couldn't help giving a sigh. Just this set of clothes cost $500. This was simply heaven to find. Alright? However, it had to be said that wearing this set of clothes that was like a white light bulb could really blind the eyes of everyone around her. Nearby, I only have a sword. Great God Eastern painted. Your outfit is one of the top 3 in the martial arts tournament, right? Donghua Qinjin's success is 2nd place. Nearby, Candy Sweetheart. Yes. Last time our server's martial arts tournament's 1st place was Great God Thousand Snow, alright. Luo Qinshun slightly knit her brows. Great God Thousand Snow could be the Thousand Snow flowing cloud mentioned in the quest panel. She opened the lower right-hand side rankings. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud was not only the 1st place player in the martial arts tournament, he was also the player with the highest battle strength in the entire server. His job was a light blade that could deal damage and tank, meet shield, which was similar to a swordsman. 2nd place was her. 3rd place was the so-called supporting male, lead demonic year young master, who was a Void Jade mage. She wanted to look for the supporting female leads ranking, but even after flipping to the bottom of the rankings, she didn't even see a shadow of the supporting female lead. It really was a noob. She didn't reply and continued to maintain the cold aura of a great god. She pressed the Rock Hammer Soldier battle button and entered the 20-person battle line. Chapter 129. This was a 20-person Rock Hammer Soldier battlefield. It was open on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Luo Qingqian's job was called Li Guang. It was a job that could switch between light and dark. The light was healing and the dark was dealing damage. It was a very flexible job. This job could be considered a one-on-one job in Heavenly Sword, and a bad job in group fights. After all, there were too few CCs, and it was very likely they would be instantly killed by the enemy's AoE attacks. Even like this, the rich Li Guang could still deal tons of damage per second. For example, Luo Qingqian's current equipment. After entering the battlefield interface, there was a 30-second waiting time to change teams. The captain was responsible for changing teams, ensuring that each team had at least one healer. There were 4 teams in the 20-person battlefield. Battlefield, Western Reed Song. Captain, help me change to the second team. Thank you. When this name appeared, Luo Qingqian's eyelids jumped up. Thinking of the previous host's past, she and the supporting female lead did seem to have met on the battlefield. Luo Qingqian right-clicked on Yi Ying Ge's stats list. Her equipment wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good. Her job was a healer. As expected, as long as it was a girl in this game, they would only play healer. However, there were still many good healers. After all, those healers who could become the strongest healers on the battlefield were all great healers. Only Yinga wasn't one. Battlefield, Little Heart, Don't Run, Shunguyu, and the Great God are couple names. Battlefield, Western Reed Song. It was just a coincidence. Pooh. Luo Qingqian couldn't help laughing in front of the computer as she muttered, "Zhe, you really know how to act." She didn't plan on paying attention to the supporting female lead at all. She continued walking the cold path of the Great God as she prepared to fight. The Rock Hammer Soldier battlefield didn't rely on numbers to win. Rather, it relied on using lighthouses to win. This was one of the highlights of this game. It didn't rely on overwhelming equipment. Rather, it relied on skill. After lighting up the first lighthouse, Luo Qingqian charged into the center of the battlefield. Her technique was almost perfect, but under Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud's big move, she was forced to use Invincible Nirvana. However, after Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud finished releasing his ultimate skill, Flashy Scattering Thousand Blades, the surrounding people all fell to the ground. Except for her, of course. The entire bloody battlefield was like a gust of spring wind at this moment, instantly freezing. She was dressed in a dazzling moon-white outfit, and a nirvana on her body glowed with a golden light once again. Just like that, he casually stood in the middle of such a bloody battlefield. A few strands of hair on his forehead were blown away by the wind, intertwining with a silver ribbon and fluttering in the wind, appearing quite graceful. Luo Qingqian used her fastest speed to switch to her light form and restore her health to full. Don't ask her why she didn't have a wet nurse to heal her. It was because the wet nurse had died long ago. Mu Qianlu narrowed his eyes on the screen, and his lips curled into a faint smile. He blinked and rushed towards Luo Qingqian, intending to use his second set of skills. Damn! Luo Qingqian on the other side of the computer called out in surprise. She instantly blinked and ran in the direction of the lighthouse. The current score was that whoever reached 100 points first would be the winner. Their side had 90 points, which meant that as long as they could defend a lighthouse, they could reach 100 points faster than them. Players had a 5-second cooldown to take down a lighthouse, and they couldn't use any skills during this time. Moreover, as long as the enemy used a crowd control skill, they could interrupt it. This was the northernmost lighthouse, and it was currently lit up by Luo Qingqian's red light. Chapter 130. When Luo Qingqian saw a white figure appear, she still panicked for a bit. She quickly raised her attention to 120%. Seeing that the score on the upper right corner was getting closer and closer, this meant that on this map, other than this point that belonged to their red team, All the other points were occupied by the enemy. If she died, their red team would lose this battle. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud didn't say anything and used a fixed disturbance to knock her to the ground. She quickly used her hand speed to dispel the crowd control and jump backwards. She pressed Void Flow on the skill interface and switched positions with Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, who was originally going to approach Lighthouse. In an instant, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud directly used Life Chase on her and used Life Chase second stage to instantly take away close to 2/3 of her HP. Luo Qingqian's mind went blank, and she instantly used Soul Mirror to dispel the crowd control and used Soul Ban on him to lock him in place. But actually, she was very scared at this moment because all of her crowd control skills were on cooldown, and Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud still had the Berserk crowd control skill that he hadn't used yet. Although she wasn't familiar with the light blade swordsman job, the original owner still remembered some of the necessary skills. After the Soul Ban skill ended, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud directly used Berserk to control her and used the flashy Scattered Thousand Blades 3-star Peerless skill, just when she felt that she might not be able to use Soul Swap to heal herself in time. The scene instantly stopped, and the screen displayed the two large words victory. The score was, and her HP was fixed at less than 10 HP. Luo Qingqian's fingertips quickly typed a sentence on the screen. Battlefield Donghua Qingjin. You let me win. Soon after, a summary of the battle appeared on the screen. MVP. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud highest damage. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud most kills. Donghua Qingjin strongest healer. Sweet smile after looking at the panel, Luo Qingqian directly clicked to leave the battlefield. But what she didn't expect was that after this battle ended, the world was in an uproar. World, passage of time. Did you guys see that just now? Eastern Painting and Thousand Snow were fighting on Rockhammer. It was simply too cool. World, Candy Consort. I'm here too. I'm here too. Although I was killed by Great God Thousand Snows, big move long ago. Aggrieved face, aggrieved face, aggrieved face carrot, aggrieved face, world, little rabbit in the zoo. Can someone tell me what battlefield they are lining up for? 10 or 20 people. I want to watch the almighty. World, Baker, the little rabbit in the zoo. The 10-person battlefield is called Shadow Hunting Valley. Okay? Are you a newbie? If it's a girl, I'll bring you along. World, little rabbit in the zoo. I don't need you to take me. I'm going to queue for the battlefield, begging to meet a god, any one of them. Expectant face. Ding dong. Before she could finish enjoying the chatter of the people in the world, she received a prompt from the system. Player Western Music has requested to add you as a friend. Do you accept? Yes/no. She didn't know why, but when she saw this notification, she suddenly thought of her retarded system. The host didn't forget to bring the system along when she wanted to insult others. Her lips curled up slightly as she clicked yes. Speaking of which, the main mission didn't say that he had to torture the supporting female lead. But if the supporting female lead was too comfortable, she would feel a bit uncomfortable in her heart. As an MMORPG, she had to do something like torturing the supporting female lead. Otherwise, she wouldn't be worthy of being called Great God Eastern Painting. PM, Western Music Song. Is the Great God here? I've just started playing this game, and there are many things I don't understand. I saw that you were very strong on the battlefield. Can you take me as your disciple? PM, Donghua Qingjin, Battlefield. Concise and comprehensive. After all, she really hated this kind of little white flower. But what she never thought was that she and Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud would be on one side, while Western Music Song and the supporting male lead Demonic Year Young Master would be on the other side. Chapter 131. Because of the game's mechanics, if no one applied for the battlefield commander, the system would randomly assign a person to become the leader. And this battlefield's random leader was Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. He quickly adjusted his team and moved the third team's healer Sweet Smile to his team. There were fewer healers on this battlefield, only 3. This meant that Luo Qingqian, who was also in the third team, could not switch to DPS and had to switch to healing to protect the other DPS. It really was a pity for her top-grade equipment and extreme skills. Luo Qingchun on the other side of the computer didn't feel anything as she said with a soft laugh. So, it's a duo battlefield. As the name implied, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud, and Sweet Smile entered the battlefield as a team. They were originally in the same guild, which was the only anti-server guild in the Like Summer Flowers server, Drunken Dreamland. The guild Luo Qingchun was currently in was a casual guild, which proved why the previous host was isolated and helpless after this matter. After all, the supporting male lead Demonic Year Young Master and the supporting female lead Western Reed Song were both in the ruling guild of the Like Summer Flowers server, Sword World. The main reason the anti-server guilds existed was to fight against the ruling guilds, so the main reason was to stop the Go server. After all, if a server was ruled by a guild for a long time, there wouldn't be any passion for fighting. The Rockhammer battlefield continued, and what Luo Qingchun never thought was that at the last second before the match began, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud Yunjiang, who was in the third team, changed places with Sweet Smile. Luo Qingchun was stunned. This great god wanted to take revenge on her for stealing his kills. He wanted her to switch to light to heal him. In a 20-person battlefield compared to a 10-person battlefield, high-level players with high battle strength, didn't have that much of an effect. But it was different with two high-level players. Luo Qingchun was in the red team, and Demonic Year Young Masters group was in the blue team. Properly speaking, although Demonic Year Young Master's battle strength was lower than Thousand Snow Flowing Clouds, his battle strength was higher than hers. But even like this, in the single-player PK of the martial arts tournament, she had successfully killed Demonic Year Young Master, taking second place. As for the finals, it seemed that the original owner was working overtime and couldn't participate, so he gave up in the end. In other words, if she would really take all of her buff potions and engage in a 1-on-1 PK with Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, she might not necessarily lose. Then why did the host almost die in the last battle? The mechanical voice of the system sounded in an instant, and suddenly poured a bucket of cold water on Luo Qingchun. F***CK. It's fine if you say you're spying. You're still voicing your opinions? You're really asking for a beating. If the system was a human, she might really rush up and hit it with a hammer. However, she did not have the time to talk nonsense with the system. After all, the battlefield was still filled with smoke, even though she and Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud were on the red side. However, because their combat power was too high, the remaining players on the battlefield had very low combat power. After all, the game's battlefield allocation mechanism meant that the average combat power of the red and blue players had to be about the same in order to activate the battlefield. Luo Qingchun's red team quickly took 2 lighthouses, and Demonic Year Young Master's blue team also took 2 lighthouses. Every lighthouse was guarded by a player to prevent the enemy from taking it away. The rest of the people charged to the center of the circle and began to fight as a group. As the only job in the team that could heal, Luo Qingchun said, she had never switched to light before. Thousand Snow Flowing Clouds and her own HP bars have been forcefully healed by Sweet Smile in the third team. Big healers were big healers. They really weren't ordinary. But what they never thought was that there would be a difference in the battle strength of the people guarding the lighthouses on their side. The 2 lighthouses that belonged to the red team had already turned blue. Chapter 132. Battlefield Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. You guys go steal some. I'll hold back most of the troops. It had to be said, once Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud spoke, it instantly ignited the battlefield. Battlefield passage of time. The great god actually spoke. I've met the great god many times on a battlefield, and whether it was a win or a loss, the great god has never spoken. Mu Qianlu on the other side of the computer had a serious look as his eyes lit up. He didn't know why there was an urgent thought in his heart. He didn't want to lose this game. Battlefield killing intent in small pants. Front row, please take a picture. Battlefield, candy sweetheart sauce. Great God Thousand Snow. I'll go guard the right lighthouse. Who wants to come with me? Battlefield, listen to the wind blowing. I'll go with you. Battlefield, cherry blossom not air. I'll go guard the south lighthouse. Great God, Please be assured, I'll definitely guard to the death. Even if I die, I'll charge over there. However, Luo Qingchen on the other side of the computer had a stunned expression. What was this situation with this group of low battle strength babies speaking like they didn't care about dying? In the center of the battlefield, the blue side had around 2 teams, and the red side only had 1,000 snow, flowing cloud 2. Donghua Qinjin 3. Sweet smile 4. There was number 4. The blue side had over 10 people on this large disc, and the red side only had the 3 of them. 1,000 snow, flowing cloud, charged into the crowd to knock down the enemy's healer. Luo Qingchen followed up with Soul Band to lock Western Reed Song in place. 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud used a small skill, Hunter's Light Kill, to deal critical damage, instantly causing Western Reed Song to fall to the ground. Luo Qingchen couldn't help calling out in shock in her heart. Just how bad was this supporting female lead's healer skills? The enemy naturally knew that if they wanted to kill the 3 of them, they had to kill their healer first. Therefore, the jobs that countered healers charged forward to wildly attack Sweet Smile. With this many people attacking a single healer, even if her skills were good, she would still die. The score on the top right corner of the screen was quickly pulled closer, and all the points on the map had turned red. 1,000 Snow Yunzhang's rage was stacked to the max, seeing the group of people in front of him. He immediately charged forward. He activated Blood Bloom, increased damage, but only left a little bit of health, and instantly used flashy scattered 1,000 blades, recovering half of his health. Everyone around him instantly fell to the ground. But after that, Demonic Year Young Master, who was standing at the back, also released the Void Jade Sect's big move, the Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall. This skill could instantly kill a healer with full HP, not to mention a damage dealer with half HP. Thus, no matter how good 1,000 Snow Flowing Clouds equipment was, he would not be able to withstand the damage of this skill. After all, compared to a healer, his damage output was much weaker. In the blink of an eye, Luo Qingchen, who was wearing clothes as white as snow not far away, directly clicked Void Flow. In that instant, she switched places with 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud, who was in the Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall, his big move. The moment the Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall fell, Luo Qingchen's hand quickly clicked Invincible Nirvana. This was a divine skill of the Liguang sect. Not only did it not reduce her HP, it instantly filled her HP back to full. Mu Qianlu in front of the computer was clearly stunned. This instant of skill usage was less than 3 seconds of time. He could actually have this kind of tacit understanding with someone who had never been on voice chat and had never fought before. This was simply heaven-defying. After that, 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud didn't even think as he used a life-chasing to charge a Demonic Year Young Master. Demonic Year Young Master instantly used Flash to escape, flying back to his home base. Luo Qingchen switched back to the Dark Element to chase after him. For the rest of the time, the 2 of them blocked the entrance of the enemy base. They killed whoever came out, not giving them a chance to resist at all. When the match ended, the red team won with a score of 160. Chapter 133. Luo Qingchen looked at the battle summary after the victory and let out a long sigh of relief. MVP. Donghua Qinjin highest damage. 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud most kills. 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud strongest healer. Donghua Qinjin the entire battle panel was taken by the 2 of them. Her healing even surpassed Sweet Smile's. It had to be said that her equipment was truly luxurious. World, young girl baby, Great God 1,000 Snow is so handsome. He saw that I was being beaten and rushed over to save me. World star in the night sky. The great God is doing this for the heads. You're thinking too much. World little rabbit in the zoo. You're all fans of Great God 1,000 Snow. But I'm only a fan of Great God Eastern Painted. World Passage of Time. Great God Eastern Painted is truly powerful. I just charged into the battlefield after reviving and saw him instantly use Void Flow to switch places with Great God 1,000 Snow before instantly using Nirvana. I even called out on the other side of the computer. This kind of operation, this kind of tacit understanding, It really is fucking percent yin and percent yin percent. System notification. Player passage of time has said inappropriate words. She has been muted for 10 minutes. Luo Qingchen on the other side of the computer couldn't help curling her lips as she said to herself, "This game, it really is a bit interesting." Ding dong. The sound a good friend sending a message came. PM. Life written in water. Ching Ching. You're in the limelight this time. When Luo Qingchen saw her name, her heart couldn't help skipping a beat. Her mind kept thinking of this life written in water's background. After that, she finally found it in the previous host's memories. She was the previous host's roommate in university, Yi Qing Mo, the only person who knew that she was the school flower goddess. She was demonic year young master's contract in the game. But the words life written in water, when Western Reed Song hooked up with demonic year young master, she had already deleted her account. It was said that she went abroad to relax for a while because she was depressed. So when the previous host was accused of being a 40-year-old man, she wasn't by her side and didn't clear the previous host's name. But those days hadn't come yet. No, they already wouldn't come. System notification. An unread hidden quest has appeared. Congratulations to the host for unlocking the hidden mission. Let Yi Qingma, life written in water, obtain true love within a month. F***CK. System, you don't even need to ask about the secondary line now. Did he just open it? Why didn't you add it to the main storyline? Luo Qingchen was so angry that she could probably eat the entire system. She closed her eyes and calmed down. Now, there wasn't even a shadow of the main storyline, and the side storyline was filled with all kinds of difficulties to help life written in water obtain true love. Wasn't he teasing her? True love for demonic year young master. She stared at the computer screen for a full 5 seconds and decided to remind Yi Qingma of some things first. After all, if her identity was exposed, she wouldn't be able to happily embark on the path of revenge. Private chat Donghua Chenjin. Well, Qingma, don't tell anyone my gender. Otherwise, I'll beat you to death. Although Luo Qingchen understood Yi Qingma's character, she was definitely the representative of a tight-lipped person. But if there was a need to remind her, PM, life written in water, don't worry. I won't say anything. After all, my roommate is being called a great god by everyone. I'm also very happy. Luo Qingchen was about to type the matter between demonic year young master and Western Reed Song, but she never thought that Yi Qingma would say it first. Chapter 134. Ding dong. There was another message, but this message didn't come from life written in water. Rather, it came from Western Reed Song. PM. Western Reed Song. Great God. Do you want to clear the Great Wall? We're missing a damage dealer. Luo Qingchen slightly narrowed her eyes. She opened the World Team list and saw Western Reed Song's team. She was indeed in the same team as demonic year young master. Luo Qingchen's lips curled into a faint smile as she typed a line of words on the keyboard. PM. Donghua Chenjin. I want to bring a nanny. Is there a spot left? The nanny she was talking about was naturally Yi Qingmo. After all, if she wanted to break up the couple, it was very necessary to let the main character meet the mistress. Yinggo on the other side of the computer was a bit hesitant. When did Donghua Chenjin have a nanny? How come she didn't know about it? She was aiming for the great gods on the rankings, but she had a bad start. The first one she wanted to hook up with was naturally the number 1 expert Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, but this number 1 beauty of the server couldn't even add Great God Thousand Snow as a friend. After countless private chats and friend requests were rejected, she changed her ID to Western Shungu. She decided to change her target and hook up with a godly person. Of course, while preparing to attack Donghua Chenjin, she also planned on hooking up with demonic year young master, who was already contracted. As long as the hoe was swung properly, there was no wall that couldn't be dug down. If she failed again on the path of Donghua Chenjin, she could still work hard on demonic year young master. After all, she had heard that demonic year young master liked beauties, and his contracted life, written in water, wasn't as beautiful as her. The title of number 1 beauty of the server wasn't just for show. PM. Western Reed Song. All right, I'll kick someone. Yi Inggu hesitated. But in the end, in order to have more contact with Donghua Chenjin, she agreed to bring a nanny. Team Donghua Chenjin has joined the team. Team Life Written in Water has joined the team. In that instant, the entire team was filled with awkwardness. But Luo Qingshun was very satisfied with this awkwardness, because she was very happy. Team Donghua Chenjin, open. When everyone fell into a strange silence, Luo Qingshun said something in the team chat in an incomparably domineering manner. To be honest, even she felt that she was a little handsome. No wonder he was the Prince Charming of so many cute girls. System prompt. Do you wish to enter the 10-man advanced dungeon of the Great Wall? Yes/no. Luo Qingshun moved her mouse and clicked yes. The party leader immediately adjusted the party. The Great Wall Instance Dungeon was a LV-59 instance dungeon in Heavenly Sword. Luo Qingshun's current level was LV-79. Logically speaking, this instance dungeon should be a one-sided instance dungeon. However, this was a high-level dungeon. As long as a boss, monster, did not die within 15 minutes, it would go berserk. After it went berserk, it would deal 30,000 HP with every hit. Most of the weaker damage dealers would die instantly. Even a healer would only be able to survive 2 hits. Therefore, even if it was a level 59 high-tiered dungeon, it was not possible to insta-kill a player with only top-tier equipment. It still depended on the team's teamwork and skill. Generally speaking, when fighting this type of dungeon, one had to go on the YY live chat channel. Therefore, after that, Team Western Reed Song, live chat channel 199200619, come and listen to the command. Luo Qingshun gave a cold snort and didn't say anything. In her eyes, this was a trash dungeon that could drag 6 with 4. As long as there were 3 strong damage dealers and a healer, the others could just lie there like corpses. They couldn't move the entire time. Of course, if it was Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, with his job as a damage dealer and tank, it would only take 3 to 7. Team Life Written in Water. We need to fight faster. There's still the country war at 7. Luo Qingshun could clearly feel Yi Qingmo's impatient tone towards Yingge. It seemed like she could already see through the shameful relationship between Demonic Year Young Master and Western Reed Song. Chapter 135. 10 People Dungeon, 5 people to a small team. Demonic Year Young Master was in the same team as Western Reed Song, but because of his contract with Life Written in Water, he put Life Written in Water into his team and gave Western Reed Song to Luo Qingshun. This kind of team change really hurt her heart. Wasn't this asking her to deal DPS and heal herself? The first and second boss were considered smooth since she dealt 60% of the team's DPS. As the name implied, other than the 2 healers, the remaining 7 of the 10 people couldn't even deal as much DPS as her. This was simply my god. This Demonic Year Young Master really had a problem with his skills. How could he enter 3rd place with this kind of DPS? She didn't believe. Team Demonic Year Young Master. Li Guang isn't on YY? ZZ. Luo Qingshun on the other side of the computer couldn't help raising a brow. Demonic Year Young Master directly called her by her class name and used this kind of tone. Was he trying to cause trouble? Team Donghua Chenjin, open. She was as concise as before, not giving the other side any face at all. Team Demonic Year Young Master. What do we do if OT, the boss aggro, is pulled away by someone with high DPS? Normally speaking, a team would have the tank meet shield in front of the boss and the healer would heal the tank. But if there was a DPS with high DPS, it was possible to pull away the boss aggro and have the boss attack them instead. Because Luo Qingshun's DPS was too high, almost OT the last 2 bosses, so Demonic Year Young Master asked this question. Team Donghua Chenjin, I'll heal myself. No problem. So what if she healed herself? Team Demonic Year Young Master. You don't deal DPS? Team Donghua Chenjin. Can you deal as much damage as me? This Demonic Year Young Master was clearly treating Donghua Chenjin as his love rival, but Luo Qingshun didn't know if he was treating her as Life Written in Water's love rival or Western Reed's love rival. Team Western Reed. Then let's start the boss. Main tank, try your best to pull aggro. Don't let Eastern Painted OT. Seeing that the smell of gunpowder in the team was getting stronger, Shiwan Shinga quickly jumped out to speak. She was deeply afraid that the two powerful local tycoons would leave her. Actually, properly speaking, the easiest one to pull the boss aggro should be Demonic Year Young Master's Void Jade job. After all, his Heavenly Flame Profound Ice Fall dealt instant damage. Unfortunately, his technique was too lousy. However, they had been wiped out a total of 9 times before they could defeat the third boss. The reason was basically the same. It was the nanny. As the third boss was the last boss of the 10-man advanced dungeon of the Great Wall, its skill attribute was a little special. Every time a member of their party died, this boss would gain another layer of buff. If you used the Soul Stone Resurrection Potion and died, then the boss would gain another layer of buff. When the boss's buff was stacked more than 10 times, its damage would be overpowered. What's more, every time it reached the 15th floor, even Luo Qingchen wouldn't be able to withstand the damage of a boss like this. Team, Life Written in Water. Second Team Nanny, can you lie down? Don't use the Resurrection Stone if you die. Luo Qingchen knew that they were all in YY, so there was only one reason why they were still typing. The atmosphere in the YY room must be very awkward, causing no one to speak. Team, Western Reed. I haven't played for long, so I don't know how to play. I've caused trouble for you all. Luo Qingchen on the other side of the computer trembled. Facing the little white flower like this, her stomach was churning. All right? Team Demonic Year Young Master. It's fine, Reed, you can lie down. This boss is invincible in the middle, so it's hard for a nanny to keep healing and pulling aggro. You just started playing, it's quite good. Team, Life Written in Water. As a nanny, your healing can't even compare to Li Guang who switched to light. I don't know where you're playing well. Chapter 136. Team, Demonic Year Young Master. All right. What are you saying all this for? Let's fight the boss. These words were without a doubt a calming pill for Western Reed's song. After all, Demonic Year Young Master was still on her side when it came to her contract. As expected, a beautiful person had capital. After that, the team's tank came forward to fight the boss. When the boss released its first skill, Western Reed's song couldn't dodge it and fell to the ground. But with Western Reed's song falling to the ground, the second team didn't have a healer and the damage dealers all had low HP. Luo Qingchen could only switch between light and dark, dealing damage while healing herself. During this time, she didn't forget to open the dungeon DPS list in the upper right corner. As expected, she was still in first place with 40% of the team's DPS. Ayo! The boss roared out. After the second team's damage dealers all fell to the ground, the boss buff had already reached the 10th layer, and the main tank almost couldn't hold on anymore. Luo Qingchen knit her brows and used the 3-star Peerless move to hit the boss several times. The boss only had 1% of its HP left. After that, the boss released an ultimate skill. Other than the healer Life Written in Water who had a bit more HP, everyone else fell to the ground. Luo Qingchen instantly released the Invincible Nirvana, and her fingers quickly typed a few words on the keyboard. Team Donghua Qinjin, Fleeting Time, released the second team. She was openly provoking Demonic Year Young Master. After all, a person lying down didn't have the right to argue with a person fighting a boss. Demonic Year Young Master unwillingly placed Life Written in Water in the second team. He saw Luo Qingchen use the Invincible Nirvana to flash away and pull away from the boss. Then she filled the boss with soul beads, instantly exploding and killing it. After that, without waiting for the team leader to distribute the equipment, Luo Qingchen directly left the team. The Great God's cold aura was displayed to the fullest. Ding dong, PM Western Reed song. I've caused trouble for Great God Eastern Painted. Luo Qingchen on the other side of the computer gave a cold snort and directly pressed the delete button, not giving Western Reed song any face at all. Since they had already shed all pretense of cordiality, they might as well face it head-on. However, what she did not expect was that not long after, an announcement appeared on the World Channel. System announcement. Player Demonic Year Young Master has forcefully canceled the contract at the contract location. Player Demonic Year Young Master and player life, written in water, will never meet again, vowing never to return. Poor demonic year, young master. My titanium dog eyes really are blind. Luo Qingqian's eyes turned cold. She unconsciously snorted and said to herself, "Oh, this preemptive strike is pretty good." Born, life written in water. Heaven is watching what people do. World, Western music, stop arguing. It's my fault. Sister Fleeting Time, I apologize to you. Don't misunderstand. Gongzi is only bringing me to the dungeon. Horn, demonic year, young master. Yes? Do you think I don't know about the shady relationship between you and Donghua Chenjin? Zay, this demonic year, young master, directly put her name on the horn. He really wanted to cause trouble. Cross-server / Summerflower, Donghua Chenjin. Come on, let's talk about the cross-server. These system prefixes clearly separated the rich from the poor. Demonic year, young master could at least use the horn, and Western music song could only act as a little white flower in the world channel. As for her, she directly went to the cross-server channel. A horn in the market cost 10 heaven coins, 10 renminbi, and a cross-server speaker cost 100 heaven coins, 100 renminbi, not to mention that there was no discount. World, Candy Consort, what is going on? Young master's meaning is that Eastern Painted stole his contract? World, Song in the Clouds, it's very clear. Only Western music song's words were a bit interesting. Young master was the one who hooked up with the #1 beauty of the server first. Chapter 137. World, Song in the Clouds. Ha, ha, ha. Fly into a rage out of humiliation. Take the high-level dragon spring water. Horn, life written in water. Do you really think I don't know who you've been doing it with every day? Where were you when I was standing on the streets? Where were you when I was bored? Where were you when I was waiting for you to enter the battlefield? What #1 beauty in the server are you being intimate with? Demonic year, young master, I haven't done anything wrong to you in half a year. As for you, who you want to be with is unrelated to me, but don't bring in my friends. Horn, demonic year, young master. What kind of friend is life written in water? Father doesn't know what kind of fickle person you are. World, Western Reed Song. Big sister, Fleeting Time, don't say it like this. Horn, demonic year, young master. Reed Song, you don't need to apologize to her. After a minute, there were 2 announcements in the World Channel. The first one, system announcement, Hong Long. With a giant sound in the sky, Western Reed Song officially changed her name to Only Love Young Master and stepped onto a brand new journey in cloud hanging. The second one, system announcement, Demonic Year Young Master and Only Love Young Master have become soul mates in the contract land. They will never let each other down and will never leave each other. In that instant, the World Channel exploded. World Song of Youth. What is this situation? Demonic Year Young Master and Western Reed Song. Oh, that's not right. Only Love Young Master contracted? World, I am killing God. This name change, I'm convinced. World, Rain God. I already knew that young master liked to pick up girls, but now it seems like it's true. World, Lemonheart. Are you joking? How do you know that it wasn't life written in water who picked up Eastern Painted first? World, Rain God. Lemonheart, do you know? Poor demonic year, young master. Donghua Chenjin, I never thought that you would want the broken shoes that father didn't want. Smile. Horn, life written in water. Only love young master? I'm laughing my head off. Cloud Hanging Continent. The name of the continent in the game. I'll kill you every time I see you. Poor demonic year, young master. Life written in water. Why don't you look at your equipment? Father will kill you until you cry. World, Donghua Chenjin. DPS list of the bosses of the Great Wall Instance Dungeon, Donghua Chenjin. Liguang. Nunchaku. Sacred Hall. Demonic Year, young master. Void Jade. World. You listen to the wind blowing, damn. Great God Eastern Painted was really ruthless. He had directly pasted the DPS list of their dungeon runs onto the screen. World. Only love, beautiful legs. Isn't Demonic Year young master ranked 2nd in battle strength? How could his DPS be so low? World, stars in the night sky. He's a noob. In this game, equipment alone was not enough. If one's skills were not good enough, they would still be trash. Poor demonic year, young master. Donghua Chenjin, you damn Mary. Cross server / summer flowers Donghua Chinjin. All mouthy king? Kaihong is waiting for you in the capital. The so-called red blade was a force PK. As long as someone had a red blade, they could forcefully kill someone without a red blade. Cross server / cloud shepherd Shueshi. There's only one person involved? Where's the other one? Cross server / summer flower Donghua Chinjin. Coward. It was still a simple word, but it was filled with the aura of a great god. Luo Qingxun couldn't help feeling like she was about to fall in love with herself. Horn, demonic year, young master. You just wait for father. Although demonic year, young master's skills were trash, he still had the entire sword world guild behind him. 5 minutes later, demonic year, young master led his guild's people. There were around 2 teams as they drove their red blades to the capital, planning to fight to the death with Luo Qingxun. Chapter 138. Nearby, demonic year, young master. Donghua Chinjin, don't say that this young master is bullying you. How about we come one team at a time? Nearby, different firework, damn. Demonic year, young master, do you want face? A team beating a single person and you're saying it's not bullying? Nearby, demonic year, young master. Are you looking for a beating? Nearby, sheep, yo. You don't want face and you're not letting people say it? After that, sheep immediately flew into the sky, not letting demonic year, young master hit him. Not long after, the imperial city was filled with people watching the show. Luo Qingxun's fingers slightly moved, and she typed a line of words on the keyboard. Nearby, Donghua Chinjin, come together. Nearby, different firework. Damn, great god Eastern painted is too handsome. World prosperous gambling house. The imperial city's annual play. Demonic year, young master versus Donghua Chinjin. Quickly place your bets. World, awakening in the night sky. Haha. If demonic year, young master loses, he really has to change his name to young master's face. World, candy consort. I bet 100,000 cloud coins, game coins, for demonic year, young master to lose. I'll be cheering for great god Eastern painted. World, lemon heart. Candy consort, just wait to lose. I support young master. I'll bet 500,000 cloud coins. World, normally love dreaming. This lemon heart wouldn't be young master's smuff, right? World, candy consort. Ha, perhaps it's another close female friend. World, lemon heart. Fuck your sister. Nearby, demonic year, young master. Donghua Chinjin, don't regret it. As soon as his voice fell, demonic year, young master charged forward. He took a buff and used a 3-star unparalleled 1,000 years frost moon lock on Luo Qingxun, firmly locking her in place. In less than half a second, she released a soul mirror and charged at their team's healer, who was the already changed name to only love young master. A soul guiding death and 3 soul orbs hit her body, and she was instantly at critical health. At this moment, Yi Qing Mo, who was originally healing Luo Qingxun, flashed to the side of only love Gongzi. She raised her hand and used Spirit Ape Howling Sky Mount. A gorilla skill directly smashed into only love Gongzi's face. Only love Gongzi was stunned. In the next second, Luo Qingxun immediately used Soul Ban to control the enemy's other healer. At the same time, she tapped on a rage potion in her bag. The cooldown of her unparalleled 3 stars was over, and she was about to go up and use a big move. But she never would have thought that when she charged forward, demonic year young master would place Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall where the nurse was standing. In front of the computer, she bit her lip and activated 4 skills in a second. She killed the healer quickly and then pressed Invincible Nirvana. When demonic year, young master's big move, Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall fell, she had an invincible HP regeneration. Such a scene was so familiar. Nearby, usually love to dream. Oh no, life written in water is about to die. Luo Qingxun looked around and found that there were a total of 3 DPS players surrounding Yi Qing Mo. She instantly switched to her light element and used the light element big move, Cleansing Light Thought, on life written in water's head, instantly filling Yi Qing Mo's HP back to full. But because she needed to stand in place when switching to her light element, the enemy's light blade charged at her with 1,000 flashy scatter blades. Luo Qingxian only had a third of her HP left. Demonic Year Young Master swallowed another rage potion and used his big move on Luo Qingxian. In the blink of an eye, Luo Qingxian instantly released a void flow to switch positions with the enemy mage in the distance. Although she dodged this big move, she was still at the center of the enemy's attack. Chapter 139. In an instant, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud activated Bloodshed without any hesitation and used 1,000 flashy scatter blades on empty HP. Everyone around him fell to the ground, including the wandering rabbits. Nearby, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Heal me well. In that instant, it was like Luo Qingxian's world had been frozen in time. System, I was playing the game and forgot to ask you, what is the male leads? Oh no, the passerby's affection for the female lead? 0. 20% for the previous host. Damn, where did this 20% come from? Could it be that the host doesn't understand why the quest panel would give you an online name and a real name? How could I understand if you don't tell me? But, Mu Qianlu, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud? The host will know when you go to work tomorrow. Please don't ignore the systems panel for the host. All right? I remember the previous host remembered that Mu Qianlu was the boss of the V group, which meant, damn, they knew each other in real life. There was a time when the previous host was working overtime at the company, and there was a territory battle over the weekend, so she opened the game. But she never thought that Mu Qianlu, who was passing by, would see it. He recognized the previous host's ID and had a 20% affection. Powerful. No wonder I didn't know. This was something that the previous host didn't know about. How could I know? Dumb host. Moreover, wasn't just the passerby Mu Qianlu, the supporting female lead and male lead also worked at the V group. WTF? This is simply too much. But there was a question. Since Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud knew about the previous host, why didn't he appear when the previous host was being forced? So his identity was a passerby because he didn't play this game before that. Luo Qingxian nodded in understanding and turned her eyes back to the game panel. It had to be said the appearance of Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud had filled the entire capital city with excitement. This was the Like Summer Flowers server's most interesting battle in history. After all, the previous host, who was in a casual guild, never participated in fights. Nearby, several young girls. Great God, Thousand Snow. Nearby, I am Death God. There's a good play to watch now. Nearby, Lemon Heart, damn. He even brought helpers? Nearby, Yang. Lemon, you mean that the 9 people Demonic Year Young Master brought aren't people? World, Wanshan Gambling House. The person who placed the bet just now is here for a refund. Don't open a bank. World, Candy Consort. Wanshan Casino. How can you be like this? World, Wanshan Gambling House. I'm at Sulon Bridge. If you want a refund, come quickly. Otherwise, I'm going offline. World, Different Fireworks. He's afraid of going bankrupt. Luo Qingxian's face was in a daze for a full 3 seconds. She immediately came back to her senses and instantly switched to the light type to restore Thousand Snow Fleeting Year's health back to full. Then he used a Soul Ban to control Demonic Year Young Master. Then Thousand Snow Flowing Year used his little skill, /Clear Sky, to slash at Demonic Year Young Master who was currently being imprisoned. Nearby, King of Assassination. Demonic Year Young Master has been sealed by Donghua, Chenjin, and Demonic Year Thousand Snow isn't releasing his 3-star peerless skills. Since he's only using small skills, what a joke. Nearby, Different Fireworks. You don't say Great God Qianchua's little skills are still very painful. A normal Light Blade's little skill would only deal around 100 damage, but Thousand Snow Flowing Year's little skill could deal over 1,000 damage. Nearby, Demonic Year Young Master. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, what do you mean? After that, when Demonic Year Young Master CC came off cooldown, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud used his big move and killed him to the ground. Nearby, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. That's what it means. Luo Qinshan thought that thousand snow flowing cloud was simply too handsome in that instant. All right. Chapter 140. Horn star in the night sky. Let me be a tycoon and use the horn. This is simply too handsome. World strawberry sandwich. Like summer flowers, I only admire great God thousand snow when it comes to being handsome, not to flirt with girls. World different fireworks. Why do I feel that great God thousand snow and great God Eastern painted are a perfect couple? Ding, affection has increased by 10. Mission completion rate is now 30%. Favorability. Great God thousand snow is so powerful. It had to be said, this increase in affection was very strange. The great God was teased by the crowd, and he actually gave her affection. But the one she should be paying attention to the most right now was demonic year young master lying on the ground. She saw him revive in the transfer array and instantly disappear. Then she activated all-mouthy king mode. Cross server like summer flowers. Demonic year young master. You all just wait for father. World lamb 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 damn. Demonic year young master is also on the cross server. Is he going to start farming? World lemon heart. Young master is so handsome. It really is our young master. World strawberry sandwich. Your young master? That person who changed to only love young master isn't coming out to say anything. Cross server like summer flowers. Thousand snow, flowing cloud. Waiting for you. World different fireworks. What the hell? World lamb lamb lamb, my God. World little rabbit in the zoo God. Great God thousand snow is actually helping Great God Eastern painted cross server. My young girl's heart is about to pop out. World baker. Little rabbit in the zoo. What young girl's heart is there for two men? Pooh. Luo Qinshan saw the interesting conversation in the world chat and couldn't help smiling. World, only love young master. Stop arguing. It's all my fault. It was my appearance that caused the conflict between young master and big sister fleeting time. I deleted my account. I'm sorry to everyone. World, lamb lamb lamb. Delete. World, candy consort. Please delete. World, different fireworks. Quickly delete. World, demonic year young master. Who cares about you trash? A bunch of trash with low battle strength that can't even compare to father. Baby, don't listen to them. I'll protect you. World, Yangi and Jiang. Manual vomiting. World, demonic year young master. Father still wants to say something. Life written in water, you bitch. World, lemon heart. You're right. They deliberately slandered young master because they wanted to be together. Cross server / like summer flowers, Eastern painted brocaded. Sorry to disappoint you guys. After all, I like men. She narrowed her eyes, and the smile on her face grew wider. After all, she had to walk the path of flirting with the Almighty and never give up. In that case, he had to start fast and early. Cross server / cloud shepherd, Shueshi. Summer flowers high-level battle is really amazing. The next second, the world chat was flooded again. World little rabbit in the zoo. Wah wah wah. Great God Eastern painted actually. So direct. World. Rain God. God, do you like me? Logically speaking, although my battle prowess is a bit weak, in reality, I am still very burly. Most importantly, I don't mind. You know what I mean. World. Candy consort. Rain God. Where's your face? World. Rain God. For the great God, I can give up. Cross server / like summer flowers, Dong Watch and Jean. To be honest, I prefer the great God with higher battle prowess than me. World, different fireworks. Oh my God. Great God Eastern painted, you're too awesome. World, Yingi and Jiang. This is my first time hearing someone describe gays in such a beautiful way. World, only love beautiful legs. I'm a Yunjin couple. Chapter 141. Mu Qin Lu on the other side of the computer, slightly relaxed, and his lips curled into a smile. Ding dong. A series of sounds rang out in the guild channel. Guild, cold moon heaven light. Big brother, what is your situation? Guild, autumn twilight. What the F asterisk CK? Thousand snow. You, what is your situation? Why didn't you find me when you were gay? Guild, sweet smile, thousand snow. Didn't you say that you didn't have contracts in this game? Guild Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. That was before. Luo Qingshun felt her heart skip a beat. She never thought that Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud would be this direct. After all, a great god should be cold and aloof. She opened her inventory in the game and used the godly 1,000 miles to directly teleport to the contract location. Ding dong. A crisp friend request rang out, and her lips curled into a smile after she opened it. Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has requested to add you as a friend. Do you accept? Yes/no. Luo Qingchun's finger slightly moved, and she pressed yes. PM, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Do you want to come to our guild? She was a bit stunned. A great god really was a great god. No, a boss really was a boss. Not only was his words direct, he also had a clear goal. PM Donghua Qinjin. This is the reason why you signed a contract with me? PM Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. No, PM Donghua Qinjin. What benefits do I get from going to your guild? Actually, she was planning on going since she was in a casual guild. If Demonic Year Young Master found people to bully her, she would have the same fate as the previous host. Not only this, she would also affect many life skill players in casual guilds. PM Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Join our fixed team and open all the dungeons. New dungeons without any guides. You can take Li Guang's equipment first. PM Donghua Qinjin. This good? Doesn't this need to be discussed? Luo Qingshun softly blinked. So there were times when a great god would use his position for personal gain. PM Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. No need, we don't have Li Guang in our team. PM Donghua Qinjin. Hihida. She thought that the great god was special to her. Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has requested to join your team. Do you accept? Yes/no. She immediately clicked yes. The next second, before she could react, a series of announcements popped up in the World Channel. Announcement: Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has generously gifted player Donghua Qinjin Jade Ring. Intimacy plus 500. Announcement: Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has generously gifted player Donghua Qinjin 1,000 Colored Rose. Intimacy plus 1,000. Announcement: Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has generously gifted player Donghua Qinjin 3 Life Colored Glass Stone, increasing intimacy by 2,000. World Candy Consort. Boss Qinxue, please accept my respect. World Yang. Demonic Year Young Master, do you see this? This is the correct way to open a contract. World Stars in the Night Sky, right? If Demonic Year Young Master and that only Love Young Master didn't do activities together, how could they have 3,000 intimacy and instantly form a contract? As if possessed by Sherlock Holmes, many onlookers around the world analyzed the matter from beginning to end. Luo Qingchun's eyes slightly lit up. Looking at the system notification on her screen, she was stunned for a full 5 seconds. System Donghua Qinjin, you are willing to become soul mates with Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Holding hands from now on, meeting each other until their hair turns white, reaching the ends of the world hand in hand? Yes/no. After a while, Luo Qingshun clicked yes. A system announcement instantly popped up in the World Channel. System announcement: Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud, and Donghua Qinjin have become soul mates at the place of the contract. They will never let each other down in this life, never leaving each other. Announcement: Player Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud has set off the love of a lifetime. Fireworks against player Donghua Qinjin, lighting up the entire starry night. Ding, affection has increased by 10. Mission completion rate is now 40%. The real system's notification sounded in her mind. After being reborn, these 520 RMB fireworks were actually set off for her by someone else. Chapter 142. PM, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Leave the guild, I'll add you. Luo Qingchun thought about it and softly typed out a few words. PM Donghua Qinjin, 3 minutes. PM, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. All right, I'll go make a cup of milk. Aya. Luo Qingshun couldn't help laughing in her heart. They had just signed a contract, and the great god was already telling her where to go. Her fingers moved, and she opened the guild channel to send a message. Guild Donghua Qinjin, many thanks for everyone's care. In order to prevent that idiot demonic year young master from causing trouble for our guild, I'll be leaving first. If you want to help with dungeons in the future or fight on the battlefield, you could directly message me. Guild stars in the night sky. Great God Eastern painted, don't worry, I'm not afraid of young master wanting face chasing after me. Guild rain god. Ha. Ha. At worst we'll just wait for him in the wild while we're doing quests. Guild, how to remember old feelings. Eastern painted, thank you for choosing a casual guild like us. Not only would you not get any resources for the territory war, you would also have to bring new players into the dungeon. Guild Donghua Chinjin, how to remember old feelings. The guild leader is fine. Guild, Little Dodo, Great God Eastern painted, you want to go to Drunken Dreamland, right? Guild Donghua Chinjin, Guild Little Dodo, alright. We'll beat young Master Wanting Face in the territory war on Friday night. Guild Donghua Chinjin, definitely. After saying this, she clicked to leave the guild. Ding dong. After that, a system message popped out. System, your contracted Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has invited you to join the guild Drunken Dreamland. Do you accept? Yes/no. God, this great Godspeed was a bit too fast. She immediately clicked yes, and then a public announcement appeared in the world. Announcement: Great God player Donghua Chinjin has officially joined the guild Drunken Dreamland. Normally speaking, when the top 10 players of the region join a new guild, there would be a notification from the Great God system. This would also let normal players know the Great God's new movements. World, thinking of the red dust, damn. I feel that Drunken Dreamland is about to dominate the game. World, demonic year young master. You want to dominate with an extra Liguang? Young master was laughing his head off. World, love to brag. Support Gongzi, support Sword World. World, Yang Yang. You love to brag, you really love to brag. World, Cold Moon Heaven Light. Don't talk nonsense if you can fight. We'll see the results of the territory war tomorrow night. Then, welcome Great God Eastern Painted. That's not right. Should I say Qianxue's contract? World, Candy Consort. Haha, catch Cool Moon. Luo Qinshan once again opened the ranking list and saw Cold Moon Heavenly Light's name. He was a Jade Virtual Realm expert. He was ranked 7th in terms of combat power and 5th in the martial arts tournament. It seemed like his operational skills were pretty good. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Within a few seconds after she joined the guild, not only was the world channel flooded with messages, but even the guild was flooded with messages. Guild Autumn Twilight. Welcome, welcome. Guild Cold Moon Heaven Light. Welcome the number 1 player, Li Guang. Speaking of which, Thousand Snow has wanted to pull you into the guild for a long time, but she never had the chance. Guild Thousand Snow Flowing Years. Kuh. Guild Warm Light Flower Wall. Great God Eastern Painted, please take a picture. I'm your little fan. Guild Autumn Twilight. Warm Light Flower Wall. As my contract, you're trying to seduce a great god in front of me? Guild Warm Light Flower Wall. Oh, Great God Eastern Painted is secretly asking for a picture. I'm your super little fan. Guild Autumn Twilight. Guild Donghua Chinjin. I'll wait for you at the Surging Bridge. Guild Warm Light Flower Wall. Alright, I'll immediately travel 1,000 miles. Chapter 143. Looking at the time, it was past 11 at night. She still had to go to the company for her internship tomorrow, so she should just wash up and go to sleep. PM, Donghua Chinjin. Great God, I'll be going first. PM, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Just call me Thousand Snow, good night. Mu Qianlu on the other side of the computer saw her icon turn dark before exiting the game. Without knowing why, he was actually looking forward to tomorrow. The next morning, Luo Qinshan wore a large red elk coat and happily headed to the V group to work. But the moment she arrived at the company, the supervisor called for a meeting in the design department. The main contents of the meeting were 1. Increasing the lighting of the scene. 2. Investigating the income and age of the players. 3. 5. Luo Qinshan felt her mind go blank, but there was only one sentence that was deeply engraved in her mind. Work overtime tonight. Work overtime tonight. Work overtime tonight. What happened to the territory battle? How could you work overtime? What are you in a daze for? It's all gone. Her fellow original artist Xiao Chun patted her shoulder as she spoke. After that, Luo Qingxun charged into the supervisor's office like she was on rocket boots and knocked on her door. That supervisor, she saw the supervisor talking on the phone while smiling. All right, I'll arrange it now. Director Mu, please be assured, please be assured. After saying this, she slowly put down the phone and quickly returned to her paralyzed face. She looked at Luo Qingxun and said, "What is it?" "Supervisor, I have something to do tonight, so I might not be able to work overtime." Luo Qingxun's lips curled into a faint smile as she spoke. The supervisor knit her brows and said in an impatient voice, "I have to go to a meeting right now. Your design department was supposed to be managed by the development department for the next few days. But Director Mu said that the original art for Heavenly Sword's new characters must be placed first, so he will personally take over your department." Huh? Luo Qingxun looked at the supervisor in front of her in a daze. She bit her lip and said, "You mean that if I want to take time off, I have to find Director Mu? But I'm telling you, if you want to stay in this company forever, don't ask for leave." The supervisor rolled his eyes at her and said, "Boss Mu has just taken over the design department, and you're going to ask for leave. Aren't you looking for trouble?" When Luo Qingxun heard this, she couldn't help but laugh in her heart. Mu Qianlu really thought that she was pure. Could it be that she didn't know why Director Mu personally took over the design department? After walking out of the director's office, she carried her cherry-colored satchel. This satchel seemed to be the original owner's favorite bag. She also thought it was very beautiful. She pressed the button for the elevator to the 20th floor of the general manager's office building. She felt her heart pounding. There were only two strategies in her mind. 1. Reveal her identity and expose her way of flirting with the Prince Charming. 2. Hide what she knows and keep Mu Qianlu in the dark, not knowing that she knows about this matter. They walked on a path of mutual flirting. To be honest, Mu Qianlu should prefer the second one. After all, in the Almighty's eyes, she was still a cute little lamb who didn't know anything. All right, then she would relax a bit and wait for the Almighty to flirt with her, although she felt that she might forcefully flirt back. Chapter 144. She took a deep breath and followed the beautiful secretary in. She felt her heart beating very fast, and even her palms were sweating. "Director Mu, the person is here." The beautiful secretary's enchanting voice came from beside her ears. After that, the office door was opened. When that ray of sunlight shone on her face, she was stunned. The golden sunlight fell onto the mahogany desk, and the person sitting at the desk was wearing a clean white shirt. His face was carved like it was carved, and his angular face was strangely handsome. The fingers holding the pen were clearly defined, and with a slight movement of his hand, there was a sha sound on the document. You can leave." He slightly looked up with deep eyes and a faint smile on his lips as he looked at Luo Qingxun in front of him. Without knowing why, seeing her red elk dress with the youthful aura of a student, he couldn't help feeling a ripple in his heart. Hearing his slightly magnetic and cool voice, she felt her heart skip a beat. There was a numb feeling in her ears, and her face couldn't help blushing. "Host, your face is actually red." The system's mechanical voice rang out, scaring Luo Qingxun. A normal person's face would turn red when seeing a handsome man. Could be you're not red. I'm a system. Oh, that's right, you're not human. The system helplessly made a non-existent expression. It felt that there was something wrong with it. Why did it have to speak? "Director Mu, hello." Luo Qingxun moved forward with light steps and said with a sweet smile, "I am the original artist of the design department, Luo Qingxun." She felt that such a serious self-introduction was very silly. After all, the other side knew who she was. Mu Qianlu stopped moving and said with a slight nod, "What is it?" Looking at her clear and bright eyes, he felt that she was especially cute in his heart. Even the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up a little more. Such a cute and pure girl was actually a male character with almost perfect maneuvering skills in the game. If he didn't see it by chance, he wouldn't have believed it. "Well, President Mu, I want to take leave tonight." She blinked gently and said carefully, "Fake." Mu Qianlu raised a brow. as his eyes revealed an understanding look. Luo Qingshun looked at his eyes and wanted to slap the table and tell him the so-called truth. But on the other hand, she also enjoyed the feeling of thinking that the other party knew nothing even though both of them were well aware of it. How could a single word of praise be so impressive? No. She shook her head and pressed her stomach. I'm on sick leave. My stomach hurts today. Mu Qianlu's eyes lit up as he thought. This little girl is quite smart. She knows that it's inappropriate for her to say that she's on sick leave, so she directly gave her sick leave. As the saying goes, if a female employee had a stomachache and the boss did not approve her leave, that would be too inhumane. Got it. Mu Qianlu's brows slightly twitched, but he pretended to be calm as he nodded. It had to be said that at that moment, their acting skills were worthy of an Oscar. System. If there's a plane that needs actors in the future, I won't decline. Host, you are so confident that you are about to ascend to the heavens. Then, President Mu, I'll go out first. She slightly turned around and let out a long sigh. But she never saw that man with deep eyes. His eyes never left her. Chapter 145. In order to show that she was sick, Luo Qingshun sat in the office in a daze the entire afternoon. Only when a group of men gathered at the door to look around did she finally raise her head a little. She saw a man wearing glasses behind her push forward a man wearing a checkered shirt with delicate features. The man looked around 25 or 26 with a head of golden hair, white skin, red lips, and white teeth. He was holding a bouquet of champagne roses as he walked over to her. Her colleague Xiao Chun pushed her arm and teased her with a smile. Ching. The school flower's charm has no limit. You're still this popular, even after coming out to work. Xiao Chun was also her classmate in university. Only the two of them didn't live in the same dorm, but they studied the same major. They were all original artists who could draw a piece of heaven and earth with just a drawing board. Who is this person? Luo Qingshun narrowed her eyes, trying hard to search the previous owner's memories. She felt a bit of an impression, but it also seemed like she didn't have it at all. Could be a passerby. You don't know. Xiao Chun's eyes lit up as she looked at the checkered shirt man in front of her and said with a smile, he is the son of the marketing department's director, Bai Yin. He's also working in the marketing department right now and is the crush of many young girls. When Xiao Chun said this, she looked at him without blinking, and the corners of her mouth raised a faint smile. What? Did she hear wrong? What did she hear? Xiao Chun unwillingly looked back at the stunned Luo Qingshun and repeated, he's also working in the marketing department right now. There are many. Stop. Luo Qingshun cut her off. She blinked and asked, what did you say he was called? Bai Yin. Damn. Demonic year, young master. This was simply too much. This was the legendary meeting only between enemies. That hello, Luo Qingshun. I quite like you that. Can I ask you out for dinner this weekend? He stopped in front of her and revealed a faint smile. His deep dimples had a youthful aura to them. Luo Qingshun put her hands in the pockets of her large red elk coat. Her brows slightly raised and her lips curled into a smile. She looked into his eyes and asked with a deep meaning, tonight? Bai Yannian was still holding the champagne rose, and his expression showed a hint of confusion. Originally, a colleague in the same department happened to find him looking at Luo Qingshun's QQ space and then asked him to order a bouquet of roses to confess. After all, Bai Yannian had the looks and background. As for Luo Qingshun from the design department, he had been in love with her for a long time. Although he was a little nervous when he first saw her, he had already calmed down after walking over here. He was used to flirting with girls, but he didn't understand why Luo Qingshun didn't accept his roses when she asked him for the date. And didn't they say it was the weekend? Why tonight? I have something to do tonight. Can't what? Luo Qingshun's eyebrows moved slightly, and her lips curved into a faint smile as she interrupted him. Although in the past, why does it feel a little awkward? When the original host was being attacked by the keyboard warriors on the forum, Bai Yannian didn't participate. But in the end, it didn't change the fact that he was the instigator. Now that she thought about it, if Bai Yannian had participated, he would have known that the original host's photos were of her. Then the original host wouldn't have. Thinking of this, Luo Qingxin cut off her own thoughts. After all, no matter how good or bad the original host's mood was, she would have been knocked to death. This is life. Chapter 146. Luo Qingxin nodded her head casually and sat back down in her seat. She raised her eyebrows in an absolutely cold manner. Bai Yin awkwardly scratched his head and said, "These flowers are for you." He didn't know why, but he felt that the atmosphere at this moment was even more awkward than when he was rejected. What the F***? K? But even though he thought that in his heart, he still had a smile on his face. Luo Qingxin's right hand gently picked up the flower teacup on the table, took a sip, and said, "Sorry, I'm allergic to your flowers." There was nothing wrong with it. She was just allergic to his flowers. But it was different for other people. "Okay." Bai Yin awkwardly took back the flowers and looked at her and said, "I'll come pick you up after work tonight." "No need." She smiled faintly and said, "I'll go home and take a shower. I'll see you at the restaurant entrance." "That works too. What time will Qingxin arrive?" "How about 7? After all, the territory battle would start at 8. Even though he was a noob, he was still an expert. Killing a few weak noobs would be easy. Luo Qingxin glanced at him from the corner of her eyes and saw that he was in a difficult position. But after 3 seconds, he still nodded his head expectantly and said, "Feast restaurant. I'll wait for you at 7. But what they didn't know was that someone was watching the design department's every move through the camera. A faint smile appeared on his face as he clicked on the game icon on the desktop. At the same time, Bai Yin was angrily walking down the corridor, but he didn't expect to bump into someone at the corner. "Are you King blind?" A sharp voice rang out, causing the entire empty corridor to shake. Bai Yin impatiently raised his head and looked at the person in front of him. His eyes instantly became disdainful. He crossed his arms and said, "Oh, so it's Sister Yi from the General Affairs Department." He was familiar with the person in front of him, and he was extremely familiar with her. She was in her early 30s and still unmarried. She always wore bright clothes and looked extremely slutty. Not only did she have a loud voice, but she also seduced his father. In his eyes, his sister was a company parasite. Yinggu raised her head and stuck out her chest. She rolled her white face and said with a look of disdain, "Be careful when you walk next time. If you bump into me, Manager Bai's heart will hurt." She naturally knew that the person in front of her was the son of the person she had recently hooked up with. Although Manager Bai was a little old, he was good-looking and was quite generous to her. However, she did not like the person in front of her. "Gigolo, you." Bayanian couldn't help but laugh. He shrugged and said, "You didn't look in the mirror when you went out this morning? You little brat." "Say that again?" Yinggu raised her hand to slap him, but he firmly grabbed it. Bai Yin raised his eyebrows and the corners of his mouth curled into a disdainful smile as he said, "Old sister, I'm no pushover. I'm afraid that you won't be able to deliver this slap." With that, he flung her hand away and brushed past her shoulder. He put his hands in his pockets and walked forward. His heart had been filled with anger because of Luo Qingxin's indifference, but now that he had found a punching bag, his anger instantly disappeared. In his heart, there was even a bit of joy. Only, he never thought that his joy would last for too short a time. After all, he had been sitting in the feast restaurant and had waited until 7:50, but Luo Qingxin still hadn't arrived. He had been stood up. Chapter 147. She arrived home at 7:30 and bought a large cup of milk tea before heading to her bedroom. Opening the game, she saw someone privately messaging her as soon as she went online. Moreover, it wasn't a normal private chat, but rather a contracted chat. "Contract, 1000 snow flowing cloud. Come to YY. There's a commander 2000520. Contract Donghua Qingjin." "All right, wait a minute." Luo Qingxin gave a shrug, expressing that war guilds were troublesome. The most interesting part of Heavenly Sword was the territory war. The more points one obtained in the territory war, the more generous the rewards would be. Her casual guild before never participated in this kind of war, but it was different now. The territory war had a total of 3 large points and 8 small points. The 3 large points were Central State Eastern Sea, and Rockhammer. As for the 8 small points, they were temporarily ignored because the most important thing for the expert guild was to take the large points. Of these 3 large points, the most important one was Central State. Therefore, there was a very appropriate phrase in Heavenly Sword. The one who obtained Central State was the most domineering. It had to be said, although Demonic Year Young Master was a bit of noob, Sword World was still very powerful. For large-scale battles, the commander would decide the direction of the battle. Stealing points and defending points were also very particular and strategic. The previous host didn't have any information about the territory war in her memories, which meant that this territory war was her debut in Donghua Chinjin. After downloading YY, she casually applied for an ID and entered the room Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud gave her. Who would have thought that once she said room, her eardrums would tremble? The entire YY was filled with a deafening song, generous and impassioned. Guild, Cold Moon Heaven Light. High-level players with a battle strength of 450,000 will enter the first group. Those with a battle strength of 450,000 will enter the second group, and the rest will enter the third group. In this game, a team had a maximum of 50 people. Luo Qingshun clicked on Cold Moon Heaven Light's icon to enter the first group. As soon as she entered, she saw Thousand Snow Flowing Clouds words appear on the screen. Team Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Cold Moon put Eastern painted in the first group. Team Cold Moon Heaven Light. Thousand Snow, you are clearly abandoning me. A team had 5 people. Thousand Snow Flowing Clouds fixed team other than him. Cold Moon Heaven Light, Sunset Autumn Light, Warm Light, and Sweet Smile. With 2 healers and 3 damage dealers, they could kill their way into the enemy's ranks as if there was no one there. Team Sweet Smile. I'll go to the second group. Team Cold Moon Heaven Light. Don't. As Thousand Snows bound healer, Yinran, you should stay in the first team. Me as a single person, I'll go. As soon as his voice of Thousand Snow, Cold Moon Cold, of the heavens, Lu, Thousand Snow, Moon, Thousand Snow. Life. Player, huh? When did Yiqingma come to Drunken Dreamland? Demonic demon was she demonic? Was sword? Team, life written in water. Eastern painted, let's go kill him. Instantly, the leader, Cold Moon Heaven Light, transferred life written in water to the second group she was in. After transferring to the group, he didn't forget to say, Team, Cold Moon Heaven Light. As a healer, can you take care of healing me? Brother won't just bring you to kill a demonic year young master. Brother will bring you to kill the entire sword world. Team, Warm Light Flower Wall. Poochie, awkward face. Cold Moon, when did you become this shameless? Chapter 148. Because the one who took the Central State Point last week was Sword World, they were mainly focused on defense this week. Drunken Dreamland needed to attack. Luo Qingxin directly turned off her vibrating cell phone and sucked in a few large pearls. She sat up straight and waited for orders. She only saw a commanding voice come from YY. The first group will attack Central State, the second group will defend Rockhammer, the third group will attack the small point, Don't Touch, he said. Last week, Drunken Dreamland took the Rockhammer, so the second group only needed to defend. As for why they didn't attack, EC, it should be because the Falling Flowers Guild that took the EC last week was in an alliance with Drunken Dreamland. But this wasn't the main point. The main point was that Luo Qingxun had already used the Godly 1,000 Miles and used the pink gold, wings worth 28,000 renminbi, to fly towards Central State. Ding dong. The moment she landed, there was a message from the contract. Contract, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. You're not changing your title? Luo Qingxun was a bit stunned. Seeing the incomparably domineering title above her game character's head, she couldn't help blinking her eyes. What was with this title? She felt it was quite handsome. Only the top 3 of the martial arts conference had this title. All right, top 3. That meant that Demonic Year Young Master also had this title. No, she wouldn't change it. Contract Donghua Chinjin. All right, I'll change it. In the next second, she changed the title at the top to another, like Summer Flowers, servers only title, Treasure Pavilion Master. This title came from your collection of clothes, accessories, mounts, and wings in the game. For Luo Qingchun, who loved beauty, she felt it was very suitable. Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Mu Qian Lu on the other side of the computer slightly knit his brows as he thought. This girl really doesn't understand romance. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. What, this isn't good either? This title isn't repeated in the server. What isn't good about it? Action. Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has used the princess carry on you. She only felt the computer screen suddenly shake, and she could no longer operate it. Taking a closer look, at this very moment, she was a handsome young man who was being held in the arms of a man with two large swords on his back. Indeed, it was a bit awkward to look at. Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Change it to mine. Luo Qingchun stared blankly, her line of sight fixed on the top of Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud's head. In the next second, she couldn't help but blush. He was wearing the title of Donghua Qinjin, a couple for a lifetime. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. Okay, she couldn't help but feel a little shy, but she still changed her title to Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Forever one couple. Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud, and men. If they were to form a contract, they could carry each other in a princess carry without asking. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. Okay, I've never been contracted before, so I'm not sure. So what else could he do? In the next second, she felt incomparably regretful for asking such a question, because the prompt that suddenly popped up made her body tremble. Action. Player Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud has used a princess carry kiss on you. As the name implies, it was a kiss while being carried in a princess carry. This action was simply too cool. The only flaw was that the two men were doing this not far from Central Province. Chapter 149. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. This is also fine. Luo Qingqian expressed that not only was her face red to her ears in front of the computer, her heart was also beating very fast. Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Mu Qian Lu replied before putting her down. He clicked on her profile picture to make the trade. System, player Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud wishes to trade with you. Yes/no. Yes. After the trade window popped out, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud put in 3 things. The Love Bento Contract Skill Book, the Life and Death Contract Skill Book, as well as a large red elk coat for Christmas. God, this was actually a limited edition fashion coat that only had 1 set in the entire server. In her mind, it was a limited edition set that was released last Christmas. There was only 1 set, and a man and woman had to buy it at the same time, starting at midnight. In her memories, the previous host had also waited in the wee hours to steal this coat, but it was a pity that her hand speed wasn't fast enough and it was instantly bought. She thought that the person who bought this coat would show off in the world, and then she would ask the buyer for a high price. It was a pity that the person who bought the only set had never appeared. It was like this set of clothes had never appeared in like summer flowers. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. So you were the one who bought this coat. Luo Qingchun had a stunned expression, all right? The great god actually had the hobby of instant killing clothes. No wonder she didn't know who bought it all. Contract, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. But I can't wear this set of clothes. She expressed that although she had a hobby of collecting rare clothes, the men's clothes must have been taken by the great god. What did he mean by giving her a set of women's clothes? Did he want her to change her sex? Although Heavenly Sword seemed to have this function, she could just buy a sex-change plastic surgery card from the market. If you want an older sister, you have an older sister. If you want a lowly, you have a lowly. Contract, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. I'll keep it for now. It might be useful in the future. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. All right. She expressed that other than her sex change, she couldn't think of anything else that would be useful in the future. Contract, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. One of the 2 skill books, Love Bento, is used as a buff medicine. The other one, Life and Death Companion, is a skill that can summon me at any time. Both of them are contract skills. Luo Qingchun's eyes lit up, and without thinking, she clicked on the Life and Death skill book. After all, This gave her the sense of security of having the Almighty at her beck and call. But in the next second, the angry roar of the commander in YY scared her. With a voice that sounded as if his throat was being torn apart, he roared with an incomparably powerful force. Press in, press in. Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud immediately got on his flying sword mount. Then, he pulled Luo Qingshun onto his two-person mount and rushed towards the front of the battlefield. As soon as they arrived at the front line of the battlefield, they jumped off their mounts in unison and instantly blended into the battlefield. Accompanied by the passionate singing and YY, the voice of the commander seemed to be even more inspiring. He roared, "Healer, heal, tank up, flowing light, heal and dispel crowd control. Jade Mirage, use your ultimate move, Light Blade, rush straight in flashy scattering." In the next second, a black mass of people rushed in. In several large-scale battles, both sides went back and forth, neither side gaining the upper hand. When everyone was fighting with their blood boiling, the words on the horn attracted Luo Qingshun's attention. "Horn, demonic ear, young master. Damn, father is here." At this moment, Bai Yannian was in a simple and crude internet cafe near the Grand Feast restaurant. Sitting next to him was a burly man with his legs crossed. The air was filled with the unpleasant smell of smoke. However, in order to get online earlier and enter the territory war, he endured it. "World, only love, young master. Young master, you're finally online. I missed you very much. Horn, demonic year, young master. Baby, I'm coming. Mua mua." Chapter 150. It had to be said, Sword World really was powerful. After all, in terms of skill, Drunken Dreamland, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, and the others should be better. Luo Qingshun stood at the back of the team, switching between light and dark forms. While dealing damage, she didn't forget to heal herself. This was because she felt that in this kind of territory war, Sweet Smile only had Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud in her eyes. She was in a completely free state. System warning. Player only love young master is currently using the Bluebird skill to attack you. Damn, this only love young master was crazy. Using a red blade in a territory war? Normally speaking, when two guilds were set as enemies, as long as they were in range of the other side in a territory war, they could attack and didn't need to use a red blade. After that, she aimed her mouse at only love young master and jumped to her side with a flash. She instantly used a soul ban and exploded 3 soul beads onto her, leaving her with only a sliver of HP. But who would have thought that in that instant, a pink light would appear beside only love young master and demonic ear young master would appear by her side. AI, still looking for helpers. The instant demonic ear young master saw Luo Qingshun, he directly swallowed a rage pill and used the big move, Heavenly Flame Profound Icefall, on her position. Luo Qingshun instantly used Void Flow to switch positions with only love young master's noob and used Invincible Nirvana to wildly heal herself. Just as she was recovering her HP, several experts from Sword World had already surrounded her. She still had this soul mirror in her hand, but with all these people, she would still die. The large group was in the front, so there wouldn't be anyone to heal her and let her deal damage. She suddenly felt a bit unwilling. As long as there was a healer, she would have a chance to win. World, only love young master. The shame you gave me, I'll return it all to you today. The instant the words appeared in the world chat, her invincible nirvana had already ended. Seeing that the Meat Shield Templar was about to use Thunder God 1000 Ren on her, she couldn't do a thing. However, since he was going to die, he had to die for a reason. She used a Soul Mirror to break Demonic Ear Young Master's control skill. After locking on a Only Love Young Master, she wildly used several peerless great skills that fell onto Only Love Young Master. In less than half a second, Only Love Gongzi fell to the ground. Area, Only Love Gongzi, damn it. Men like you who kill girls are really shameless. After Only Love Gongzi died, she didn't forget to blabber a few words nearby, and because she didn't dodge many of the skills, she only had a sliver of HP left. In an instant, a red-eyed light blade rushed towards her, intending to use a big move. She shrugged and smiled helplessly. Just as she was about to take her hands off the keyboard again, the HP bar above her head was instantly filled up. She was stunned for a full second before she turned off the cooldown of her blink skill and jumped to a safe position. At this moment, there was a figure wearing a large red elk costume that appeared in front of her, charging at demonic year young master. Without saying a word, he used a knockdown and followed up with a 3-star unparalleled skill to kill him. Because it was done too quickly, Luo Qingshun didn't even see it clearly. She turned her head to look around the screen, but she didn't see Sweet Smile or any other healers. Then who was it that healed her just now? With a strong curiosity, she opened the battle list, and a pink notification caught her eyes. Battle, your contracted 1,000 snow flowing cloud has used Old Lang Syne on you, recovering 52,000 HP. Chapter 151. But she didn't have time to think that much. As soon as her skills came off cooldown, she charged 1,000 snow flowing cloud side and violently attacked him. The voice of the commander in YY shocked her ears, making her movements even sharper and making her blood boil. Good, very beautiful. We've won this wave. Everyone will charge into Central State and take the flag. The rest of you will gather in the capital before fighting again. After hearing the commander's final conclusion, Luo Qingshun let out a long sigh of relief. When she was prepared to press Godly 1,000 Miles to fly away, a prompt appeared on her computer screen. Action! Player 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud has used a princess carry on you. After that, the man carrying her mounted the only 3 angel divine wings in the entire server and flew in the direction of the capital. To be honest, there was no one before, but there were people all around now. The large white and blue wings flew very low, attracting the shocked eyes of many players. The number 1 great god in the server carrying the number 2 great god. This could be considered a good story in itself. After all, this world was no longer a story of great gods and Xiaobai. Rather, it was a battle between great gods. How novel, how exciting, how thought-provoking. But why were the 2 of them both men? Team, Cold Moon Heaven Light, ZZ, 1,000 Snow, your princess carrying Eastern Painted is a bit of an eyesore. Team, Life Written in Water. I think it's quite good. Team, Cold Moon Heaven Light, Life Written in Water. Did you seriously heal your good brother just now? Team, Life Written in Water. Nonsense. I'm about to die, but I still used Moonfall Sweet Rain, this instant healing skill on you. Of course, other than the team, the people in the world chat who saw this scene also had something to say. World, once upon a cool breeze. Did you see Great God 1,000 Snow carrying Great God Eastern Painted in a princess carry? I took a screenshot. I'll send it to you for free. World, Candy Consort. Where? I want to go and watch. World, Lemon Heart. You're taking screenshots of this eyesore? Are you crazy? World, Rain God. Lemon Heart. What does it matter to you? Young Master's shameless lackey. World, Demonic Year Young Master. Rain God. Hee hee. After the territory war, Young Masters, chasing the wind for 1,000 miles, will make you cry. Chasing the wind for 1,000 miles was a tool that could be used to search for coordinates in the merchant shop. Once the location was found, it could be used to directly head there and kill people. As the name implied, it was a tool used to chase and kill people. World, Rain God. Yo, come on. I'll be waiting for you at the guild encampment. Join my guild if you can. Young Master is shameless. World, only love Gongzi. Gongzi, don't argue with him. I'm really glad that I'm with you and not with that transvestite. World, Demonic Year Young Master. On, my dear wife. What was that? Transvestite? He actually dared to call her a transvestite. This was simply intolerable. Host, he's not completely wrong. Your character is indeed male. The system spoke to her out of the blue again without warning. F***CK. Broken system. Did Demonic Year Young Master feed you rice, and you're speaking for him like this? Luo Qingshun was furious. She heavily typed a few words on the keyboard. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. I'll go offline for a while and come back right away. Contract, 1,000 Snow Flowing Cloud. All right. After saying this, she opened the merchant shop and quickly bought a plastic surgery card. After right-clicking on the item, she immediately exited and returned to the character login screen. Calling her a transvestite, if she was a male character, she wouldn't be worthy of this title. Chapter 152. Returning to the character login screen, Luo Qinshen went to Taobao to buy a face creation data. Large 3D games allowed you to create your own face. She changed her gender to a female lowly and pinched a cute face. A little lowly with a bun, big eyes, long eyelashes, white skin, and pink cheeks. She was a living little lowly beauty. This cute appearance filled her young girl's heart. She nodded in satisfaction and clicked on the login screen, returning to the game. The first thing she did when she came online was to open her bag and put on the elk Christmas dress that Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud gave her. She had a large red coat, a green skirt, 2 cute antlers on her head, and a small string of delicate bells on her waist. She only knew that she was very cute, but she didn't know that the moment she came online, she lit up someone's world. He never thought that the incomparably cold her in the game would actually buy a sex-change plastic surgery card. He only felt that the moment he saw her, it touched the softest part of his heart. Mu Qianlu on the other side of the computer didn't even think as he directly used a princess carry on her. A princess carry kiss. Oh, not bad. The scene was much more harmonious. A young swordsman with a red robe like fire was holding a cute little lowly in his embrace. How could a single word describe it? Ding! Affection has increased by 10. Mission completion rate is now 50%. Powerful, my little lowly. Luo Qinshan looked at her cute appearance in the game and listened to the system's voice. She deeply understood that the 100 renminbi spent on the gender change card was not spent in vain. Horn Dong Watch and Jean. Right-click on my avatar and look at last year's Christmas dress. I won't cheat anyone. Oh, intersection. Oh. Without knowing why, she just wanted to sell her cuteness. She wanted to see Demonic Year Young Master's reaction and see the reactions of the people in the world chat. Her heart was beating like a little deer, but without knowing why, she suddenly felt a bit of expectation. World white pinwheel, damn. What was this situation? Did Great God Eastern painted change people? World stars in the night sky. Stunned face. She became a lowly. World little rabbit in the zoo. So cute. This lowly is so cute, and her clothes are so beautiful. Sob. The rabbit loves it so much. World little dowdo. Didn't Great God Eastern painted say that he likes men? World candy consort. I always thought it was just a casual remark. Oh my God, was he bent? PFFF, Luo Qinshan thought. The words of the melon-eating crowd are still very sharp. Or Demonic Year Young Master. So disgusting, I really want to vomit. Or listen to the wind blowing. What's wrong? Do you have the face of a young master? Haha, that asterisk. Horn, Demonic Year Young Master. Are you even a man? Don't bring in my wife when you speak, otherwise father will chop you to death. Horn, Cold Moon Heaven Light. A guild that lost, Zhongzhou, has the nerve to talk about slashing people. Horn, Sword Elegance. The territory war is not over yet. Cold Moon, aren't you saying this a little too early? The wind-reliant sword on the bugle horn was Lightblade, who was ranked 4th in terms of combat power. His control was first class, and other than his combat power being inferior to Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud, he was on par with him in all other aspects. He was a character, the commander of Sword World. He wasn't arrogant or impatient, but he was rather low-key. Horn, Cold Moon Heaven Light. I'll be waiting for you at Ancestral Dragon. Ancestral Dragon was where their guild's flag was placed, which was the center of Zhongzhou. There were only 5 minutes left before the territory war was over, but when Drunken Dreamland thought that they would win this week, Sword Elegance used the Team Summon skill and opened the transport gate hidden in Zhongzhou. Chapter 153. Team Donghua Qinjin. Quick Team Summon. Team Summon, as the name implies, is a small team of 5 players with the ability to summon each other. At this time, Team 1's Sweet Smile and Team 2's Cold Moon Heaven Light were both at Ancestral Dragon of Center. As long as one of them summons, that person can summon the next person. Everyone's summon cooldown is 15 minutes. Team, thousand snow, flowing cloud. Sweet smile summons me. The next second, system, thousand snow, flowing cloud used the team summon skill to summon you to his side. Yes/no? The moment Luo Qingshan pressed yes, she discovered that they were standing on the roof above Ancestral Gragon. Below them were densely packed enemies with red names. Because Ancestral Gragon of Center had already been planted with Drunken Dreamland, S flag, it had a protection function. When Drunken Dreamland, S guild leader activated the protection function, Ancestral Gragon of Center would not be attacked for a minute. Team, Cold Moon Heaven Light. We don't even have 20 people. How can we fight? Team, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. The protection time still has 30 seconds. Team, Sweet Smile. The majority of the team needs at least 2 minutes to fly from the Imperial Capital to Ancestral Gragon. In other words, we need to delay here for a minute and a half. Team, Warm Flower Wall. It's so hard. Team, Donghua Chenjin. There's no harm in trying. As soon as her voice fell, Luo Qingshan calculated the time when Ancestral Gragon's protection would expire. She directly used Void Flow to switch places with the most conspicuous Sword Elegance. Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud instantly understood her meaning. He violently beat up Sword Elegance on the roof. Cold Moon Heaven Light and Sweet Smile also quickly joined the battle. In less than 10 seconds, due to the smooth chain of control skills and the enemy's healer not being there, Sword Elegance couldn't even use Flash and was directly killed. Luo Qingshan's goal was very clear. First, kill the commander, so that the commander could not see the situation on the battlefield and could not make the most accurate judgment. For example, at this very moment, after using Void Flow, she instantly used Void Flow to open up the formation outside Ancestral Gragon. She didn't expect that a group of high-level warriors would crazily chase after a little lowly wearing red clothing. Half of the people rushed to the stairs and stopped, while the other half chased after Luo Qingshan. Due to the high combat power of the dozen or so opponents, although he had dodged many of their skills, he still accidentally hit the opponent's movement speed reduction. She saw a group of people rushing up to her and unleashing their peerless 3-star moves. It was as if they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to kill her. They were extremely ruthless and didn't hold back at all, just because she was a little red lowly. Luo Qingshan knew that she couldn't run away. She instantly activated Invincible Nirvana, intending to delay Team Gao for a while. After the skill ended, she took 2 big moves in a row. She used Soul Mirror to dispel the crowd control and took a step back. The HP bar above her head only had a little more than 1,000 HP. Just when she felt that even if Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud were to appear by her side, she would definitely die. A system notification gave her hope. System, Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud used the Life and Death Companion skill to summon you to his side. Yes/no? She instantly pressed yes and disappeared from the encirclement of the high-level warriors. Just as she was summoned to Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud side, her HP bar was instantly healed back to full. She only felt that her scalp was somewhat numb because they were stepping on a dense mass of corpses. There were also 70 to 80 red names in front of them. The group of high-level warriors that killed her just now were probably rushing over here. This was really a chance at life amidst an army of 10,000. She didn't know why, but she was actually somewhat nervous. Contract Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. I will protect you. Chapter 154. Luo Qingshan already didn't have time to type in response to his words as the enemies charged at them. Their first targets were still the healers. Sweet Smile, Warm Glowing Flower Wall, and Life Written in Water. If they continued to attack, in less than 30 seconds, they would all be sacrificed. But if they defended and stood beside the healers to protect them, they could drag it out for a minute. But doing this, it was very easy for them to stop the enemy from planting their guild flag in Ancestral Dragon. Taking points in a territory war was the same as taking points on the battlefield. The person taking the point couldn't use any skills and needed 5 seconds to do so. When Ancestral Dragon was about to turn into the enemy's color, Luo Qingqian's fingers quickly pressed the void flow on the keyboard. She locked onto the person with the flag among the several dozen people and directly changed positions. She didn't care that much. She would buy 5 seconds if she could. A group of people who wanted to take her head surrounded her. The other people in her team were protecting the 3 healers. Only Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud appeared by her side. He was full of rage pills and firmly stood in the center of Ancestral Dragon, releasing a red and gold glow from his body. It was like he was saying that as long as someone dared to take a step forward, he would instantly release the 1,000 flashy scatter blades, as long as there was a pile of corpses in a back. Nearby, Demonic Year Young Master. Kill your way in for me. Kill your way in. After that, Demonic Year Young Master released a heavenly flame in their direction. The 2 of them moved at the same time, and the only direction they were moving in was very clear. It was towards Demonic Year Young Master. After all, Demonic Year Young Master was standing there without moving. Was he typing? They saw that Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud didn't even think as he used a big move on him, killing him without any mercy. Luo Qingqian, on the other side of the computer, slightly raised her brows. She could feel that Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud was releasing a killing aura that was decisive and terrifying. Nearby, Demonic Year Young Master. I'll fuck your mother. Life Written in Water, not far away, found that the 2 of them had low HP and directly used a 1,000 Leaf Lotus dance. It was like she was on a skateboard as she charged in their direction. Green fluorescent light surrounded them, replenishing their health. However, the enemies were no fools either. A group of players charged forward to control Life Written in Water, interrupting her skill and throwing their ultimate skills at her face, killing her instantly. The whole process took less than 2 seconds, so much so that Luo Qingqian didn't even have time to react. In the next second, Cold Moon Heavenly Light charged into the crowd and unleashed Heavenly Fire Mystical Icefall. With 2 loud bangs, the scene special effects were fully displayed. Countless ice arrows smashed down in the direction where Life in Water had fallen. The people who had surrounded Life in Water to kill her all fell to the ground. Although Cold Moon Heaven Light and Demonic Year Young Master played the same job, both being void mages, their stat points were different. Demonic Year Young Master focused on attack, and Cold Moon Heaven Light focused on critical hit and defense penetration. As the name implied, it meant that Demonic Year Young Master's small skills hurt, and his large skills were weak. On the other hand, Cold Moon Heaven Light's Heavenly Flame Mystic Icefall had a 100% critical strike. Adding on the fact that it could break defense, its power was simply terrifying. Horn, Cold Moon Heaven Light, you have my nanny? You don't want to live anymore? All of you come together. Just as the enemy was about to beat him up, the large group of players from Drunken Dreamland arrived. Because Thousand Snow Flowing Clouds group had already taken care of a group of people before they arrived. When they arrived, they had an absolute advantage in numbers. They killed everyone and took the Central State Ancestral Dragon. After 3 minutes, the territory battle ended. Drunken Dreamland had taken the 2 large Central State and Rockhammer. Chapter 155. In an instant, the world exploded. World, stars in the night sky. Congratulations, Drunken Dreamland. World, listen to the wind blowing. Congratulations, Drunken Dreamland, plus 10086. World, normally love dreaming. Great God Eastern Painted is truly strong. In the First Territory War, she went to Drunken Dreamland. Drunken Dreamland took 2 large territories. World, Demonic Year Young Master. What are you showing off for? If it wasn't for Father being stood up by the goddess, would that transvestite have taken anything? You really are making this young master's teeth fall out. Pooh, Luo Qingqian thought. Bai Yinyan's words are definitely wrong. If he knew one day that the goddess and transvestite he mentioned were 2 different people, his face would turn green from anger. The system also thinks this. System, you don't want to eat their family's rice? The system doesn't eat rice. The system said that one day, if the system wasn't turned into a pile of parts by someone, it would be angered to death by its host. Oh, Luo Qingqian deliberately gave a casual nod, giving the system a cold shoulder. She blinked in a daze. While receiving the high rewards for the territory war, she looked at the sword world commander's words on the horn. Horn, magnificent sword leaning. Selling this account, light blade with a battle power of 485,000, no account. World, king of assassination. Sword world. Commander wants to sell his account. World, different fireworks. You're embarrassing yourself. Great God, magnificent wind is considered a high-level battle. I feel that there isn't a problem with the commander this time. The main thing is that sword world has a worm. Horn, demonic year, young master. Magnificent wind. What do you mean? Horn, magnificent sword leaning. I just don't want to play anymore. Horn, demonic year, young master. He, truly funny. You only have this bit of ambition. World, magnificent sword leaning. Because it's a bit long, I'll send this to the world chat. Everyone knows that I joined Sword World earlier than you. Everyone also knows that the commander has a wage, and it isn't low. The previous chairman gave me $10,000 a month, and after he sold his account, I didn't want to stay. But as a senior member of Sword World, I have feelings for the guild, so I still stayed. And it wasn't a short period of time. It was half a year. During this time, the salary that demonic year young master promised me, you didn't give me a single cent. World, rain god. What the F asterisk CK? Fenghua has no salary? World, candy consort. Doesn't demonic year young master say that he's a rich second generation every day? Why is he still in arrears? Show his face. QQQL, horn elegance with sword. Thank you to all the veterans of Sword Reliance. After all, I was also at fault. Everyone knew why the former president was number A. World, only love beautiful legs. Oh my God. So demonic year, young master really stole the contract from the previous chairman of Sword Reliance. So Muga didn't play anymore? Horn, demonic year, young master. Don't you dare slander people. Horn, sword elegance. Everyone knows about this. The people in the world and the horn kept being amazed by the past, while Luo Qingchun was secretly laughing on the other side of the computer. Jane, straight, live. He deserved it. If she was in the company right now, she would definitely charge in front of Bai Yin Yin and ask him, how did it feel to be the target of public criticism? Contract, thousand snow, flowing cloud. Did you receive the invitation to Heavenly Sword? Anniversary celebration? Mu Qian Lu on the other side of the computer had his assistant confirm it again. Heavenly Sword was at a one-year anniversary meeting, and Luo Qingchun was also there. Luo Qingchun saw this, and her lips couldn't help curling. This great god wanted to meet her. Chapter 156. Heavenly Sword as anniversary celebration invitations would be sent to the top 3 players in every server, and every player could bring a friend along with them. Luo Qingchun obviously planned to bring Yi Qingma along, but who was Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud planning to bring? Thinking of this sentence, she couldn't help but think of the side quest that the system gave her, this side quest that she had no clue about. Contract Donghua Qinjin. That, can't you bring one person? Who are you bringing? Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Who do you want to bring? Yeah. Great God's words were a little interesting. Luo Qingchun thought for a while and decided not to be pretentious and directly typed a few words on the keyboard. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. How about bringing Coal Moon? Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. Okay. Contract, Donghua Qinjin. Great God, you agreed just like that. Aren't you going to ask Cold Moon? Contract, Thousand Snow, Flowing Cloud. No need. Previously, he begged me to bring him along. PFFF. Seeing Thousand Snow, Flowing Clouds words, Luo Qingchun couldn't help but laugh out loud. Looks like they were thinking of the same thing. Although it seemed like her mission completion rate was only 50%, she felt that this plane gave her a very different feeling. At least, it was very warm. Just as this kind of feeling surged through her heart, Warm Light Flower Wall's words in the guild instantly pierced her heart. Guild Warm Light Flower Wall. Thousand Snow, are you there? Why didn't you respond when I messaged you? Guild Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud. And what's wrong? Guild Warm Light Flower Wall. Sweetheart doesn't seem too happy and is crying in YY. For a long time, the guild channel was deathly silent. Until Thousand Snow Flowing Cloud typed a line of words. Guild thousand snow flowing cloud. In got it. Luo Qingshun wasn't an idiot. Naturally, she could tell that Sweet Smile was interested in thousand snow flowing cloud. But she was really too embarrassed. After all, she was the closest person to him. But what she didn't expect was that the person who contacted her a few minutes later wasn't thousand snow flowing cloud, but Sweet Smile. PM, Sweet Smile. Is great god Eastern painted here? How should she put it? She didn't dislike this nanny. She didn't seem like a girl who would buy and buy for the rich. Instead, she was a girl who had excellent skills and was even a little cold. Private chat, Donghua Chinjin? Yes, I am. Private chat, Sweet Smile. I'm sorry to bother you. I think I said something wrong just now and made Qinxue unhappy. You should like you very much. Help me talk to him later. What I said to him just now was nonsense. Don't take it to heart. Luo Qingshun heard these words that couldn't be any more tactful and felt a bit stunned. She should be glad that she was a girl and had the same logical thinking ability as Sweet Smile. Otherwise, there was a 90% chance that she would not understand what Sweet Smile was talking about. Private Donghua, Chinjin, yes. So what did you say? Haha, could it be private chat, Sweet Smile? Don't say it out loud. I already feel very embarrassed. That great god Eastern painted, your lowly is very pretty. Luo Qingshun, who was on the other side of the computer, raised her eyebrows and smiled. She suddenly felt that the feeling that Sweet Smile gave people was really not bad. Private chat, Donghua Chinjin, in, thank you. Then, I will pass on the words that you want to pass on. Private chat, Sweet Smile, thank you, great god Eastern painted. There's one more thing that I want to say. Private chat, Donghua Chinjin. Private chat, Sweet Smile, I'm also a Fujoshi. A male and male couple, pretty good. Chapter 157. She was exhausted from the territory war, and Luo Qingshun didn't even want to do her daily life. After saying good night to the great god, she crawled into bed to sleep. When she went to work the next day, she stood in the elevator and saw a man and a woman running in her direction. The two of them entered the elevator at the same time, and then there was a ding sound. It was overloaded. Do you understand respecting the old and loving the young? Bai Yin looked at Ying-gu with long curly hair, wearing a large red dress and red and white high heels. He raised his brows and spoke in a voice of disdain. Do you understand ladies first? Ying-gu specially copied Bai Yin's tone and rolled her eyes. She crossed her arms and didn't have any plans of walking out. Hey, one of you two go out. What's going on? The other people in the elevator were a bit impatient hearing their conversation. After all, they were all rushing to work, and if they were delayed by a few minutes, they would be late. Luo Qingshun was standing in the back, holding back her smile. She had an indifferent expression as she watched this embarrassing performance. What a F asterisk king B asterisk TCH. Bai Yin spat out. He deliberately leaned over and spilled the coffee he had just bought onto Ying-gu before walking out of the elevator. Ah, Ying-gu jumped up and angrily pointed at Bai Yin as she cursed. Little brat, just you wait. Bai Yin put his hands in his pocket as he looked back at her. He gave a shrug of disdain and said, such a fragrant cup of coffee being spilled in such a dirty place. It really is bitter. Ying-gu wanted to say something, but the elevator doors had already closed. After 2-3 minutes, the people in the elevator all walked out. There was only Luo Qingshun and Ying-gu left. They seemed to be going to the same floor. Hey, are you from the design department? Ying-gu was wiping the coffee stains off her body while snappily saying to Luo Qingshun, go to the general department and bring my spare clothes over. Then leave your jacket for me. Hurry up. Luo Qingshun's first expression was stunned. All right, this idiot was talking to her? Hey, are you deaf? Can't you hear? Luo Qingshun looked at her ferocious and anxious face for the second time. She turned her head and said with a smile, okay. After saying this, she had a cute smile as she helped Ying-gu open the zipper on her back. She watched her take off her dress, leaving only her bra and panties. She casually took the dress in her hand, and the corners of her mouth curved into a meaningful smile. In the next second, she pressed the button on the elevator door that had been left in place. Without another word, he jumped out of the elevator. When Ying-gu in the elevator saw the door open, she took a step back in fear of the light. You What are you doing? Ying-gun never thought that an intern in the design department would dare treat her like this. She pointed at her nose and said, "Leave the clothes behind." I won't. Luo Qingshun made a naughty face and said, "If you have the ability, come out and chase me." She had originally planned to ignore the matter and stay out of it. But this supporting female lead was courting death, so she couldn't be blamed. "You just wait for this old lady." Yi Inggu gritted her teeth and said, "You're planning to pack up and leave tomorrow." "Oh." Luo Qingshun's eyes slightly lit up as she looked at the embarrassed Yi Inggu and said with a smile, "I'll wait for you." She only had one word in her heart right now. Chapter 158. Luo Qingshun casually hung Yi Ingji's dress in the hallway and headed toward the office. Who would have thought that as soon as she arrived, she would see the person she stood up last night? He dared especially come and block her this early in the morning. Xiao Chun, who was in the same department, saw her figure and hurriedly walked over. She looked at her with a worried expression and said, "That Bai Yin Yin, who asked you out yesterday, seems to be quite angry. You should talk to him properly later." Hearing Xiao Chun's tone, she really gave a few laughs into the sky. It was like she and Bai Yin Yin were a couple. The girl stood up the south and even asked for forgiveness. Please. She was the one being chased, all right? The one being loved didn't need to apologize, all right? Although in Bai Yin Yin's heart, she wasn't considered the one being loved. At most, she was a pretty vase. Bringing her out would give him some face. Morning. She casually walked over to her seat and opened her KFC breakfast while turning on her computer. She didn't even look at Bai Yin Yin beside her at all. Bai Yin Yin was filled with anger when he came to the design department to find Luo Qingshun, wanting to see how she would pitifully apologize to him. But what happened was completely different from what he imagined. Luo Qingshun not only didn't mention what happened last night, she acted like it wasn't related to her at all. This kind of cold treatment made him swallow the words he wanted to say when they reached his throat. After a few seconds, the words that came out became, "Did Qingshun have something to do yesterday, so she didn't come?" Hearing Bai Yin Yin's words, Luo Qingshun felt an indescribable joy in her heart. Cuckoo. She slightly looked up and her clear eyes looked at Bai Yin Yin as she gave two soft coughs and said, "I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so I asked for a leave of absence after working overtime. After I came home, I took a shower and fell asleep on the sofa. I'm sorry, I made you wait for nothing." To be honest, she normally wouldn't pretend to be weak. After all, she felt that she was very strong. But acting weak at this moment was completely a trick. Hashtag make the other side apologize to you even when they're filled with anger. Hashtag Bai Yin Yin was stunned. Looking at her pale face, he couldn't help but feel apologetic. When he first arrived, he seemed to have heard from Xiao Chun that she was sick last night and asked for leave. "Sigh, it's all my fault. If he hadn't asked her out, she wouldn't have been thinking about dinner when she was feeling unwell. I'm the one who should be embarrassed. It's my fault for being too casual." Bai Yannian awkwardly scratched his blonde hair and laughed. "I wonder if I'll have a chance to ask Qingshun out for a meal next time." Of course, system notification. Passerby is nearby. Just as she was about to agree and continue to stand him up, a system notification flashed through her mind, interrupting her words. "Oh my God, you scare me to death, okay?" The system helplessly made a non-existent bitter face. The reason why it reminded her was because the host always said that it was wise with hindsight. This time, it had to give him a reminder before his favorability was deducted. It had to be a useful system. Luo Qingshun knew that Mu Qianlu was nearby, so she sat up straight. She blinked a few times and thoughtfully nodded as she said, "Of course it's not that good. It's mainly because the design department has been busy lately and everyone is working overtime, so there might not be much time." "That's right. I heard that your Heavenly Sword game is about to release a new character." Luo Qingshun could clearly feel that when he said the two words, Heavenly Sword, Bai Yin Yin's eyes lit up. It was a look of confidence.